the top 7 closing lines for wholesaling real estate. So we're going to break down the top 7 lines that we have found close almost all your sellers. Like if you want to increase your closing rate, this is the video for you. Like we're going to break down exactly the top closing lines, exactly what to say, the exact scripts. So there's no excuse,
we're just going to skip through the course part and give you the stuff that works and not charge you a dime.
I think we're talking about this before the live. It's just like we're giving the house today. Like
it's a lot. Actually, 25 years of experience dealing with God knows how many sellers. And I'm going to just boil it down to what actually works and just cut through all the minutia.
And yeah, I mean, we're going to break it. We're giving everything out today. All of our acquisitions, closing line secrets. We're excited for this one and we're ready to go. So guys, do us a big favor. If you're getting any value from this video, smash that like button, subscribe. Guys, I'm telling you right now, we're giving thousands of dollars of acquisitions, quote unquote, knowledge. Like when people get to the closing lines on what to say, that's hidden behind the paywall of the courses and everything like that. We're giving it all for free today. So do us a favor, smash that like button and subscribe. And the last we can ask you is get up, right? Gotta get up. Gotta get jacked up, right?
Come on.
Let's get it. Woo!
Get the fuck out of bed, bitch. Go. Get up, get the guy go. Time to wake up, bitch. Get up. Get up. Get up.
Snap. We're ready to go. We're excited to share all of our closing lines. I'm pumped up. I'm jacked up right now. We're going to literally give everything we know about our top closing lines. We don't care. We're here just to help the people out and honestly put it into these real estate wholesaling courses that charge thousands and thousands of dollars. We're giving it all for free. I guarantee these lines, you won't even find them in the courses because we're not a guru. We do not flip students. We flip real estate.
Yeah.
And we're going to give you what we've done thousands and thousands of deals. We're going to show you exactly what's working and what's not. And really, we're ready to go. So without further ado,
look at Tristan's ready to go, man.
All these people are ready to go. So we're here to talk about it, guys. Everyone in the back here watching that are going to get hopped on. We'll talk to you guys later. But let's kind of talk right now and break everything down exactly. Our closing lines, everything we know about closing houses. So let's break it down without further ado.
Let's do it.
So we've closed probably the deals that I've closed technically in the same operation. So we'll say 3,000. You're at 3,000, I'm 1,000. So about 3,000. Out of the 3,000 deals we've done, primarily, virtually pretty much every single $25,000 plus margin deal we've done has been from these 7 lines. We've kind of done the math. Around 7 lines is basically where we do it. We don't really go outside of them. And these are our best closing lines. The one thing you have to understand before we share everything here is that these closing lines will not work. I repeat, these lines will not work if you are not going to be genuine or authentic with your seller. This is just pure math right now.
So guys, you have to be comfortable in your own skin and what you say. Full disclosure, some of these lines I've taken from other people I've worked with, and they really work well for me. And some of them I've just honestly just invented because I got frustrated with dealing with people's responses to I don't know, maybe, let me think about it. And so being authentic is your key to getting the best deals in the world. You just got to find an organized approach. And the reason there's 7 is because no one line works for everybody. Everybody's situation is different. And if you understand how to identify your objections or the information you're getting, you can decide which closing lines to use.
Yeah, That's the honest truth. Like, you have to be genuine and authentic, especially when we're talking to your sellers here. That's going to be a huge key to success here. Like,
Everybody knows when you're fake and you're just like,
oh yeah,
it's like, don't be somebody you're not, because that is the ticket to getting no deals at all. So
I completely agree with you. And remember, you need it. Like, these lines won't work if you're not in the seller's best interest. And this is where we get in a lot of trouble. But like, you have to be in the best interest of your seller. If you're dealing with the seller and you try to say, hey, you should probably list it, and they want, and then they're like, they look at it like, yeah, listing would probably be better for me. Like, if you legit try to help the seller out of what their needs are, not your needs, you'll do so many more deals. I don't know how many times I've talked to a seller and said, Zach, I've had 5 other people try to buy this house, but you're the only one that actually cared about what's best for me.
yeah,
You're the only person who gave me other options besides buying the house. And that goes so far. I thank you so much for actually being upfront with me and being authentic. It makes the stressful process so much easier. It happens all the time.
so guys, understand, you have to know your seller's end game. And if you think you're going to trick them or fool them into a wholesale deal, you're 100% like kidding yourself. I'm just telling you,
It's one of the worst things I've seen.
every now and then we have a super clean property. It's so perfect. They kind of indicate they want top dollar. I don't fight it. I just hit them in the mouth with it. Why don't you just go ahead and list it? And then what they say from there will dictate where I'm going to go from it. But like, you trying to hide and trick around, like the whole like realtor listing thing, just going to create a long drawn out scenario, and everyone's going to be upset in the end. So
all the time. So let's kind of break this down. So what else I've seen is you probably haven't pushed the seller away. And that's another reason why you're probably not doing well. And this is why these closing lines won't work. You have to push your seller away to a point. And what do I mean by pushing the seller away? For example, like I've said, when I'm talking to a seller, I'm always like, hey, I don't know if this will be a good fit for me. Or, hey, you might want to list this with the realtor. I'm probably not going to pay the most for this house. If you want to get the most, I know Sally Sue, she's a great realtor around the area. She sells a lot of houses. Once you kind of push a little more, and they're like, no, I want to sell. I want to get rid of this. Yeah. You have to, it's a push and a pull. If anyone has a dog, I mean, let's say a dog gets loose in the front yard. Happened to me plenty of times. What do you do when a dog gets loose in the front yard? You don't run after the dog, because then I
shut the door. I'm kidding.
Here's the thing. Like, this happened plenty of times.
Just our dog.
But when a dog goes out front, like, you don't run after that dog. Guess what happens? They're just going to run back away because they know they're being pursued. Guess what? You run away from the dog, and the dog just comes chasing back.
Yeah. Because
they don't know what they have till it's gone. And you don't have to be too rude, like, oh, I don't want to deal with you at all. But like, sort of like I don't know about this, or, just some hesitation. It's going to be completely different than other wholesalers that are in there. And it's going to help you so much.
I just want you to understand, a lot of people, while you're being authentic, if we really want the property, but we're telling them to chase us, I'm here to tell you, as any grade of investor, especially a wholesaler, you have to use this technique to help your client out and to help yourself out. It actually seems awkward when you do it at first, but remember, rule of nature, the more you chase something, I don't care if it's a person you're interested in a relationship, anything you want to buy, the more it's going to demand of you. And the less interest you have, the easier it is. Have you ever wanted something so bad, you focus every day, you search the internet, and then one day you go, you know what? I'm done. I'm not even going to think about it anymore. And you move on. And then you get it at like half off sale, or like they're buried at the store with them. Same thing works with sellers. And a big part of your mindset, you have to be in that, because you do no favors if you pay top dollar for that house for you or the seller, because the deal is probably not going to work out.
And that's the honest truth. And that's the big thing. Like, I think a lot of people are going to try these closing lines.
People are chasing right now hard.
Yeah.
And that's your biggest problem. If you go in the mentality chasing people, you can hustle to them. Once you get them there, you have to, this is where you have to put on a little bit of a theater, and you have to be reserved, because if you want to help the seller out and you want to help you get the best deal possible, you have to be reserved and pulled back.
Exactly. So everyone's going to go try these lines, and some of you guys are going to fail, and you come back and say, oh, these closing lines don't work. First thing I'm going to do, I don't write this video in a way that's going to get the most views. I write this video in a way that's going to give the most value to the people. And for the people that actually implement what we say, they'll get the best value and they'll actually get the best results. Here's the thing. These closing lines, they will not work unless you do this. If you are constantly chasing a seller, if you're not in the seller's best interest and you're not actually trying to help a seller out, you're going to fail. And that's just straight up facts, right? Most importantly, this is the most important thing.
This is it, guys. You got to get this part. This is it.
Ding, 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 ding. You're watching this. You must condition the seller for a yes or no decision to selling the house on the appointment, or if you're doing virtual, on this phone call. Remember, these closing lines won't work if you don't do this. If you don't condition the seller, guess what the seller's going to say when you get the closing line? Ready?
Let me think about it.
I'll think about it, maybe. And you're like, that's the average wholesale. Oh, yeah, how do I get the deal? Literally, that's happened to me so many times. That's why you have to condition your seller every single time for a yes or no decision. No ifs, ands, or buts. Okay? There's no excuse for you not conditioning your seller. Yes, it's one extra quote unquote awkward situation or awkward thing you have to say. It might be easier not to, but if you say this, it forces the seller not to give you a maybe.
Yeah, I don't think this is awkward or not because 98% of them are just going to default to yes.
Yeah.
And if somebody says flat out no,
or Jason says this, or let me run it by my attorney.
We're going to go over that.
But here's the thing. You talk to a seller, say, you're ready to make a yes or no decision. They'll say, I don't know, because my attorney has to go by and look at it. You'll know. This is why you have to ask it. So many people they're feeling the pain from not doing this. And I felt the pain for a long time. But once we stopped doing that, things changed like crazy.
The preconditioning basically is to plug hole anyone that gives you a maybe. I got to think about it. I got to talk to my lawyer. I got to talk to my wife. I got to talk to this because it'll draw it out in the beginning. And then when people make commitments and they do it to you, most people want to honor them. So the idea is just, honestly, I'm okay getting a no. Like they are saving you a ton of time. The worst thing you can do in this business is beg for someone who flat out says no to you. Move on. You want to recircle them with some emails or something like that.
From a no's easy. A no's easy. It's the maybes.
Maybes are literally torture. They just about destroyed me my first 2 years.
But you got to remember,
business.
A lot of yeses, about 20% of them are maybes. And the maybes have to turn to a yes. I know you're never going to get the no, right? But a lot of maybes you can turn to a yes. And the problem, if you cut that off, you're going to be fine. I've had so many appointments, especially when I was starting out, of people saying, maybe I'll think about it. I don't know. Mr. Seller, don't you remember our conversation beforehand when you said you're ready to make a yes or no decision? Oh, I did say that, didn't I? A lot of people subconsciously just say yes because you're at the front door. I did say that, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So am I going to get a yes or no decision? You could totally say no. I don't mind.
And I'll move on.
Yeah.
That's your takeaway right there. Go, listen, I'm fine. You got this figured out.
And they're like,
without me, like, no. And this is where they go, no, Rick, don't leave. Let's talk. And then you can kind of draw out their motivation, reaffirm it. But
it's okay, fine. I guess I did say that, huh? Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
So
I wish I had this technique when I was in high school.
And this is the technique.
I meant with
we're not going to get in this. Okay.
Asking girls at the prom, go, listen, if I ask you, I need a yes or no right now. There's nothing worse when a girl says, let me think about it maybe, or put you on the side burner.
We're not getting the dating advice.
I'm giving it to you.
If someone has a maybe, it's probably not. You shouldn't be pushing that, but
you need to move on.
But we're not going to get into that. But what I'm telling you right now, though, with these leads, it has saved my butt. You literally go into $2,000-$3,000 acquisition training programs.
Mm-hmm.
This is the stuff that they used to hide 10 years ago in secret, that they're literally still pushing this method. And they're like, this is why you pay us the $2,000-$3,000 for a seminar, because we teach you this. We're just showing you.
And usually by the third day you get the stuff.
Yeah.
And then you're like, but the key is, guys, actually, I don't think it's uncomfortable saying this at all. It actually helps you out. And if you don't say it, it's going to cost you a ton of time and frustration.
Well, what I've seen is it's more painful getting that maybe and trying to save that deal than the initial ask.
Yeah.
So let's get into the closing line. So this is the way we're going to kind of say it. We're going to explain the closing line, and then we're going to literally just get into it and say exactly what we're going to say for us doing the closing line. So I'll say this, and then you got the next one. So basically it kind of goes like this: how to do the conditioning seller. hey, Mr. Seller. So I'll do it like in person. Actually, you do the in-person one. I'll do the virtual one.
You're
So knock, 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 ring,
okay.
ring. So boop, boop. Hello? Hey, Rick, how's it going? Let's come on in. Let me show you around the house.
Okay.
Let's go. Here's the kitchen. Here's everything, right?
Hey, okay, I got mixed up here. Okay, hey Zach, before we get started, I just want to have a quick conversation with you. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Listen, I'm going to spend some time with you. We're probably going to spend, I don't know, 45 minutes to an hour. Is that going to be okay for you?
That should work.
And I'm going to get to know a lot more about your house and a lot more about you and your wife. And at the end of the conversation, you'll have a decision to make. And it's going to go one or two ways. You're going to say, yes, Rick, I love what you're saying. I want to work with you. You're the right man for the job to buy this house. Or flat out, Rick, I don't like what you're saying. I don't want to work with you. And it's a hard no. Either way, you'll have a decision to make. And I need your commitment to make a yes or no decision. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And listen, Zach, no matter what happens, I'm going to help you get your house sold, regardless if I'm the buyer or not.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
So let's go ahead. Let's take a tour and show me the rest of the house.
Literally, that's it.
That's it, guys.
The biggest issue people have is like the seller might be like, "Oh, hey, Rick, how's it going? Come on in. Let's go look around the house." And they start trying to show you the house, and like you don't have any. Then you're like, "Oh shoot, we're walking through the fourth bedroom. Like I didn't even say anything. It's too late to that point." The reason why I did that is because like most people in that situation, hey, I can't. I'm ready to go look at it, but first of all, can we just have a quick introduce myself? Yeah, blah, 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 blah. So let's say you're doing this virtually, right? People, oh, I'm doing virtual. I don't have to do that. And when you're virtual, you actually have to do it more to a point. I prefer the yes or no decision before I actually go to the house too. So you have to do it before you walk in on the appointment every time, like at the door. Eventually now, because our acquisitions people, like, I mean, some are in like Palm Beach and they got to go up to like Port Saint Lucie. Like it's an hour ride, right? They don't want to waste a 2-hour car ride. So they'll say like a day before if they're ready to make a yes or no decision. And then again, when they're going to the appointment, because the truth is, if you got to go like 45 minutes, an hour to a house and somebody says, I don't know if I can make a decision, don't meet them at the property. Right? That's the truth. So in virtual wholesaling, the line, basically, it's the same thing to a point, except you're basically getting in the phone conversation because you're literally at the phone, quote unquote, appointment. So let's say, for example, I'm getting your information. Oh, okay, Mr. Seller.
Go ahead and call me.
No. Ring, 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 ring.
Hello.
And this is kind of a warm lead, guys. This is a lead that like
you've already talked to.
I've kind of talked to a little, gathered some info, and someone from the team is giving a call back, you know. Ring, ring, ring.
Hello.
Oh, hey, is this Mr. Seller?
Yes, it is.
Hi. This is Zach Ginn from, I don't know, Guru Home Buyers, whatever. Hey, I'm just looking around the property here, and I know Marie was talking to you about it, and I'm just looking around, and this seems like a property that we might be looking to buy.
Cool. Let's do it.
Perfect. So nice to meet you. Nice to meet you. So I'm looking at the house here. I just had a quick question. You know, what year was the roof? Something.
I don't know. It's about 10, 12 years old.
Okay. I don't think I had that on the notes there. So we are looking to buy it. This seems like something that we could add. I mean, we recently just purchased a property, 123 Main Street, kind of quarter mile away. So we're familiar with the area. The one thing I do have to ask you, Mr. Seller, kind of before we get in the call, I mean, we're ready to buy this property. We're ready to look at it. I just want to ask some information, get some information on it. Before we talk, I am ready to go purchase the property. We are ready to make you an offer today. The only thing I ask, so I don't waste your time, waste my time, are you ready to make a decision on selling the property today before we kind of get into everything?
Today, right now?
Yes, right now.
Like so when you send the offer for it, like you're saying, I got to make a decision like right then and there.
Yeah. So the way our company works is we do give the offers over the phone. The one thing we do is we do trust you giving us the information. We'll have someone on our team go by and actually take a picture of the property, look inside of it. Maybe my partner has to go by and do a quick inspection or two. But really, we just do it over the phone. We do it fast and efficient. That's kind of the way we've done it since the crazy times that have been going on.
Yeah, I mean, I just got to call my wife. She's on a trip a couple states over. So how am I going to get her to sign if she's not with me?
Yeah, so there's two things. There's two ways we can do it. I mean, trust me, I understand happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
But what the best thing we can do is we know when she's going to come back from her trip.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know when?
She'll be back. Today is Wednesday. She should be here by Friday.
Right, Friday. let me do one thing. Let's get some information about the property.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you can give me some pictures of the house or whatever you're free to. I don't know if you're big on technology or not, but maybe just email me some pictures of the house. I'll gather some information. I can talk to you and the wife on Friday. And if you guys are ready to make a decision, we'll give a call and we'll kind of run the numbers a little and see what we can do.
Got it. That sounds good.
Perfect. So send me over the pictures of, generally the house, the kitchen, bedrooms. I do want to look at it really quick and kind of run it by my partner and just see if this is something that we could do. This does seem like something we can buy, but I just want to look at it, see if it's going to be a lot of renovations or not. Does that sound good, John?
That works.
Perfect. Appreciate it.
Okay.
Well, and that's a little rougher way, but
the key is here too. Here's one of the other tips. I'm just kind of throwing it out there as it comes up. One of the biggest challenges when we write our contracts is you want to make sure you have the decision makers there. It's much easier in person because they'll tell you, hey, me and my wife are going to be here. When you get it virtually, it's a little bit more challenging because the last thing you want to do is give Zach the contract and the information and then have him filter it and explain it to his wife. She's going to have a million questions. So if you have the chance to get them both on the phone to try to deal with any objections, but understanding when I present to Zach, he's going to filter it through his lens and he's going to describe it to his wife. Now, if you guys are married, you know how this works. You try to find the key points that makes your wife happy, and then she's usually going to come back with some like objections. The last thing I want is for Zach to handle his wife's objections because he's not going to be able to handle it.
no.
And so because they're directed at me, and then you try to save, like, sometimes it takes 10 or 12 phone calls. If you can get them both together, gosh, if you can do anything like video wise or anything like that, it's even better. But make sure you have the decision makers, because when you give the story to one person, they filter it, they send it back. It's like that little story where somebody gives you a story. And remember, we were in school as kids, they used to whisper it down the line. And by the time you got the story, it wasn't even close to what the original person said. The same thing happens with sellers. So don't take it for granted on who the decision makers are.
That's the truth. So one thing I did, like, I always do this with like husbands. It just happy wife, happy life.
Tell me about it.
It's always just like, it's always a laugh I can always get out of the husband. Just a quick little connection piece, right? And that's one, like, I tell you what, I would never say that in front of a husband and wife. Is it rude? Not really. I've never gotten a good response from my wife when I've said that. And it kind of makes me seem like connecting with the husband, not her. So I don't do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if it's just him, obviously I want to get him on my side. And that's one thing I do. So if I figure out on the phone that the wife is not there, we're not closing this deal today, right? We're going to wait a little bit, maybe a two-way call or something like that. But that's
especially identifying, like, I'm just going to tell you how it is. Sometimes you got to find out who wears the pants in the family, because usually most relationships, in my experience, there's one dominant decision maker and the other one's used to filter the information and get it through. Dude, it happens in my household all the time like this. So you have to play psychologist and kind of like get that information, and you'll get that long before you get to the closing lines, because a lot of times the closing line, if I know Zach's the breadwinner, the decision maker, I'm actually going to address him straight on.
Yeah.
If I think it's her, I'm going to address her. If there's a rare combination where I think like they're equal, I'm going to kind of look at them equally and do it. But it is a respect thing. You don't have to agree with it, but you have to understand the hierarchy of all families. And you guys just look in your own family and tell me if this is true or not. It's just how it works. I'm not judging it. I'm not saying it's good or bad, but identifying who the decision maker is, who's the strong personality in the relationship, will help you tune your audience for who you're going to present the closing to.
Hands down, every single time. So that's kind of our quote on that one. So let's kind of bring it back to the other one. So that is the conditioning. So without further ado, I think we conditioned everyone watching this before we got in their line. So
it's important, because if you don't get that right, the rest is going to fail.
Yes. So number 7 here is, quote unquote, the redirect. So let's kind of talk about the redirect, right?
Okay. So the redirects are real simple. A lot of times we get talking to sellers, they'll start disconnecting from the actual house they're selling. And this is how you know they're saying this. When they start going, well, Rick, I need $300,000 because I have to take care of my mom. I have to put her in a retirement home. Little Johnny's going to college, and we want like an extra $100,000 for a cushion. Now, This becomes blatantly apparent when the house is worth 50,000 and they're asking me for 300,000, and then they're talking about their personal finances. You actually have to take them and redirect them, because if you keep talking about it, if they don't take the house into account, you're never going to get close to a reasonable number. So when they start talking about their personal finances, or, I need 300 grand to bail Johnny out of jail and this, and the numbers get so far spread, you have to take immediate control, because it's going to be a wish list. They're giving you a wish list. It has nothing to do with the house. You are there to buy the house. So to politely remind them and go, listen, hey, Susie, I get it. I get it that you need that $300,000 to take care of your family, to free your finances, to do everything you want. But we have to come back to the house. Let's see what the house can afford, and let me see how I can help you accomplish those goals. So what that does is it allows us to go back to the house, and then I can go over comps. I can go over the repairs. I can't focus on what people need for retirement. That's a whole nother ball game. You need to call Charles Schwab or like Edward Jones or whatever. I don't do that stuff. I can only focus on the house. So you have to remind them, let's take a look at the house and see what the house can afford, and shut your mouth and watch what they say. And they go, yeah, you're right. Okay, let's focus on the house. Remember, the house is a small piece of their financial snapshot. It's usually the biggest part of it. And so when somebody asks you, like, I need $1 million for retirement and Aunt Sue and this, you got to redirect them. So just bring it back to the house. Hey, Susie, listen, let's see what the house can afford, and let me see if I can help you accomplish your goals. Tell me about those repairs that you've been talking about, and just get into it. And now you can deal with objections based on the house. And whenever they keep going, but I need $400,000 for this, hey, we have to talk about the house. So that's the redirect. I only use it when they get way out of line. And unfortunately, we've been using it a lot lately. And I teach all my sales reps, everybody work with it. We have to talk about the asset. That's it. You cannot help them with the other stuff. So when they get so far out, you got to bring them back front and center. And it's not uncommon to do this 2 or 3 times in one setting because people feel overwhelmed, right? If you need $500,000 to solve a financial problem, hey, that's great. Let's see what the house can afford. We can probably get you like 100, whatever. Maybe the house is $150,000 of that problem, but I'm going to help solve the problem. What I'm here for your house. And that is the redirect, guys. It's simple. It works. For full disclosure, I learned this technique from somebody else. I sat through a ton of appointments, and it would come up every now and then. And I said, listen, can I use that? I've kind of adapted it over the years, but it works. I'd like to tell you, I found all the secrets to wholesaling, but the reality is we were all taught by somebody, and there's no point in reinventing the wheel. So use those words, how it's going to fit best for you. But when they get so far off the house, use the redirect close. It works every time.
Exactly. So let's get number 6 here. The scrunchy face close.
So
this is thing.
This is probably like one of my go-to reliable ones, and it actually works real well. So what happens is all negotiations, I don't care if you're talking with your boyfriend, girlfriend, or spouse, other than a child, it never works on children. There is a tension that builds. So you guys all know what I'm talking about. The surprising thing is, I know as wholesalers, we have a lot of tension inside. There's a lot of butterflies. We're nervous. Like, I always get a little bit of a tingle on every deal I do. It reminds me, number one, I'm alive. And number two, I really enjoy what I'm doing. So you're going to be surprised to find out on the seller side is they have as much tension, if not more than you do. That is correct. I'm telling you right now. Have you ever asked somebody the price for something and they struggle to give it to you, and you start to feel bad for them? It's like, you're like, come on, give it to me. Okay. This is now going to transfer the tension from your seller to you. Now, listen, you're already wearing plenty of tension on you, but this is kind of a theatrical tension, and it works well. And what you want to do is, in any type of negotiation, if you take the brunt of all tension, you'll get so much further because they're never going to expect it. So here's simply how it goes. I say scrunchy face because that's your tension. So if you're old like me and wrinkly, it's easy. So what you want to do is show stress on your face. Okay. Now, I like to use this, especially when people are being waffly on numbers. Like they just won't give you a number. You've tried the volley technique. You're kind of come back around it. And so now we've got all the information. We're going down to the final numbers, and they're struggling to give me a number. And I volleyed with them like 6 times. Very rare. But we get to this point, we go, listen, like I'm stuck. Like there's no further way to go. So I'm just going to start going. So any type of tension, guys, if the higher somebody reaches on their head, the more tensed and stressed out they are in life. Look at your own situation. You ever like just covered your face or did like this? So when it comes to this point, I'm going to wear all the tension and I'm just going to start doing this. You know, Mr. Seller, you know, I'm thinking about the offer. Like you can give me a number. Go, listen, I'm going to try something like just like, don't shoot the message or what if I just offered you, I don't know. What if I just offered you like 50,000? That's something that would work for you. And just look down. The key is to look down. You feel bad, the tension. You're going to get 1 or 2 reactions. You ready? I don't know. I can't take that number, but like our bottom line number is 70,000. They feel bad that you're struggling to make an offer and they want to give you the answer. It's like your grade school teacher when you're trying to spell that word and you know, people like sound it out, want to spell it for you. You're using this technique. The second thing that can happen, which this technique saves your butt from it, is if they go, Rick, you're completely out of line. You're nuts. We would never sell the property for 50,000. He goes, well, that's what I thought. And now you recircle and grab another closing line and you try to get more information on what's missing from it. Guys, all you are is transferring the stress from them to you. It works. The key is you have to scrunch your face up and you got to start going to the face like this, like you're really about to have a heart attack. I don't want anyone to have a heart attack. But if you do that, the person on the other side is going to naturally want to help you out. Yeah. Now, the goal of this is to get a counter so you have a starting point. Okay. Remember, he or she who speaks first is usually going to be at a disadvantage. This is when people are struggling to give me answers. I can't get it. Kind of a Hail Mary in a way, but I'm telling you, I either get a counter from them every time or they threaten to kick you out. If you do that, I go, no, listen, I just started there. I go, tell me your idea. And now you just gave them a soft volley back. Okay. But guys, this will let you pivot and use any of the other 6 closing statements we have. So all you are is transferring the stress from them to you, and you're trying to have them bail you out. That is the strategy on the scrunchy face. Play with it. You all have like different looks. Like some people get like a weird laugh when they do it, or some people rub like the back of their head. They all have tendency. I used to go like this when I did it. I found this naturally. And then I worked with like some other professionals in the business and we all kind of talked about it and we all shared and kind of put this idea together. And I'm telling you, probably one of the most powerful ones because you can induce an answer from someone that doesn't want to give it to you. Guys, it's called the scrunchy face. Put it in your arsenal. I will forewarn you, you have to practice this one the most because if you don't come off authentic and you seem fake, you will be kicked out of their house. So please practice.
You have to be legit on this. So this brings us back to which one? Number 5. Number 5 is the partner close. And that's always a pretty good one, right? So the partner close.
Yeah, the partner close is just a technique to kind of defer. To me, it's not my favorite close, but I relied on it a lot in the beginning. And it's a lot of like referring to, well, you know, I'm looking at the house, Susie, and I love it. I mean, it's great, but my partner gave me specific instructions that we can only buy CBS houses that are 3.2s and we can't pay more than 80,000. So like, honestly, I need a little something more from you. Otherwise, I'm not sure we can do this deal. So you're basically giving your requirements to buy a house and you're basically not blaming it on your partner, but it allows you to easily kind of give them bad news without you actually delivering it. And then a lot of times when you do this, they'll start asking a lot of questions about your partner. I go, listen, there's a reason I don't let my partner come out and like talk to homeowners like you. He's pretty much behind the desk, but like he does write the checks in the checkbook. So I have to make him happy. Can you help me achieve this? Because is there anything you can kind of give me? So you're putting your requirements like on your partner. It's a simple technique. A lot of people, when they begin, they start out doing it because they don't like listen, you got to know your strengths. If you struggle giving people like requirements, like, listen, your house has to be this, and this. Now, if I go there and it's a 2-bedroom, it's a wood frame home and it's got a lot of damage, I just say that, just let them know, like, your house doesn't even really meet our specifics. Like, what can you do to help me buy your house? AKA, can you give me a great price? And I'll go back and convince my partner on it.
Yeah.
And it's simple as that. It works if you cannot deal with confrontation. And if you know that's in your DNA, you don't like to do it. I don't even care if you have a partner. Get a partner. Everybody's got somebody living with them. It could be your kids. It could be your spouse. You never have to name this person unless you want to. And by the way, if you do have a partner, you never want them to get involved with a phone call or a meeting once you try this technique, because it will completely blow up because they won't know what you said. So this is the partner close. It's for people who can't deal with confrontation, and it works well. I deal with a lot of people in wholesaling like, Rick, I just can't like deliver bad news. I go, well, just do the partner close. Tell them your parameters, blame it on your partner, and ask them, how can we, and by the way, I set the parameters difficult because the idea is you're kind of giving them disappointing news. Like, I don't even know if your house is going to qualify. Remember, we're always stepping back. We're never chasing the seller. So this integrates that technique in there, and it's wonderful for those few people. Listen, I hate confrontation too. I use this technique a lot in the beginning, and it worked really well. I rarely ever use this anymore.
Exactly. So this brings us back to number 4 here. This is the perfect world close. So, I mean, it's pretty simple, the perfect world one. Mr. Seller, in a perfect world, what would happen for me to buy the property? Like, what would have to happen for me to buy the property?
Now, listen, the key to this one is you got to know your seller, because if you don't know them, you have no idea what their preferences. If it's how do I say it? If it's a loud, strong, outspoken, aggressive seller, this will blow up in your face.
Oh yeah.
So you have to give it to a person that's being soft, pulled back. People who they like butterflies, they like unicorns. They love the perfect world because it gets them talking and opening it up. Actually, you can get them to shed a tear in this one. This is more of on like the emotional close. But I'm just telling you, if you have a dominant personality, get this one out of the portfolio because it will blow up on you. They'll tell you, I need $1 million. It's all cash. You close in 24 hours, and we're not going to use a title company. That's the perfect close, and you don't want that. So you're looking for someone that's soft-spoken, not kind of get anywhere. The perfect world will not hurt you on a nice person. On an aggressive person, it's a nightmare. Why? Because it gives them a permission slip to talk to you, and they'll tell you what they expect from you. And then you can take that intel and structure your offer, and then you can pick any closing line you want to do with it.
Exactly. And this brings us back to 3, which is the good cop, bad cop close, which is extremely similar, I would say, to like number 5 here.
But yeah, so you're basically
different on the trial close, right? So for example, like good cop, bad cop will be kind of my version. We both have different, we both have different versions of the way we do it, but they basically get the same goal. So the way I would do good cop, bad cop is the partner close doesn't make the other partner look bad.
Correct.
The good cop, bad cop does.
Runs them under the bus.
For example, I don't know how much you want to sell this house for, like the seller, but I'm going to say my crazy, angry, cheap partner, Rick, right?
Yeah.
I mean, Rick was looking, he was calling me before this. He told me not to buy this thing for like under 190,000. Like he was thinking around like 190.
Yeah.
Shut up. Hear what they have to say. How do they react to that 90? If they're like, no stinking way, that's going to be 90. That could work. You never offer that, right? So you have all the leverage because you never put that offer out there.
You didn't offer it. So remember, we're always going for a no.
Yeah.
So either they're going to give you a counter, which is going to give you intel, so you can structure an offer to get a contract, or they're going to light you up and go, hey, your partner is a real piece of work, and go, dude, I know. And they'll keep going like, you should probably get rid of that partner. I go, I know, but poor me. I gotta have somebody in the office. And what you do is you befriend the seller, and you two gang up together on the partner.
Mhm.
And a lot of times I go like this. Okay, listen, Rick told me I can't go above 190. He goes, listen, 194, it's my bottom line. I'm not moving anymore. I go, listen, like, don't shoot the messenger. He said 190. If we can do 190, I can do the deal right there. Now you can gauge it like, and then we secretly go, listen, if you get anything 205 or below, like take it. And then here's what you do. You're good. Rick's bad.
Yep.
Go, listen, I tell you what, I don't even care what Rick says. If you can sign it right here, right now, I'll do the 194. Worst case scenario, I'll just pay the $4,000 out of my pocket.
Yeah.
And just shut up.
You'd really do that?
Yeah. You really do that? Go, no, I feel bad. That's terrible. Let's just make it 192.
Yeah.
We'll split it in the middle. I go, you know what? I don't worry. I'll convince my partner, get it signed, and I'll call you when he signs it, and I'll let you know it's done deal. So the idea is you're using it as leverage to, number one, you break news, but number two, you're on the seller side. And you're like, oh, Rick's over here. So everyone's like, you guys get on this side of the table and you're ganging up on him. And you go, you know, I keep telling Rick, he's like the Scrooge sometimes.
And then what you do here is, and then you kind of get like a price from them and you go, I mean, can we meet in the middle or something like that? I mean, one thing I've seen is like, if they're at 100 and you're at like low balls 50 and you know, like 60 is a good deal.
Yeah.
Rick's at 50. I never do. Oh, you're at what? 100? Can we just meet in the middle? And then, you know, that's a great deal, right? The thing is too, you can always, I don't know about that because they're like, well, the lowest I'm going to do 60 or the lowest I'll do 65. I mean, I would love to do 60 right now. I would do it.
Yeah.
Rick's crazy guy. Let me go out back real quick. Let me go out there. Let me give him a call. Let me see what he says.
So the other technique too is if you're floundering on it, you can use the good cop, bad cop with your cell phone. And what do? You go, listen, let me give Rick a call. I'm going to step outside. I'm going to try. Is there anything else you can give me before I go back and talk to him? So Rick becomes like the pseudo like real estate agent behind the scenes. Yeah. You know how they do it on all these shows. Let me call. Let me make an offer. And listen, I want you to be authentic, but sometimes you got to reach out and like call. That's a good time to call for someone, but at least try and make it authentic. Don't walk out there for 20 seconds. No. They know you didn't go on the phone. And, so when we have new acquisitions people, we give them parameters and they do call us. So actually use this strategy all the time. Guys, it works really well because now you're befriending the seller and you're like, yeah, this evil guy, Rick, let's get him to be sensible. And like, there's a lot of rhetoric when people say, oh, you never split the difference. I'm here to tell you, split the difference. You've all been lied to. If you're getting a smoking deal, say if you want to buy a property at $60,000, and you know you can sell it for like 110 as an assignment quickly because you've done other properties in the area, and they go, well, would you do 70? Now I'm going to try. I'm going to just say, listen, what if we did like 62? I'll get it signed right now, and I'll actually pay your closing cost. The guy goes, nope, 65. That's down the middle. It's fair. You're an absolute. I'm going to be nice about this. You're crazy if you don't take that 65 because you read a book that said you never split the difference. You are going to make $30,000 to $40,000. Split it and move on with your life. Splitting the difference only affects you when you pay retail and like really high retail numbers. On the wholesale level, don't ever get confused. I've watched people like, oh, I never split the difference, Rick. I'm like, you're about to make $30,000 or $40,000 and you're fighting over the last $3,000 or $4,000. You're a fool. Take it and move on. You will never go broke taking a profit.
And I mean, we're not FBI in like, I don't know how to say it. Like, we're not.
No, listen, I enjoyed the book, but
this isn't a hostage situation where if I lose someone, like unfortunately passes away. This is kind of like a real estate deal.
Wholesaling, guys, it's not relevant to splitting any type of difference because we are wholesale. We're so, if you're fighting for that last $5,000 retail, like I get it. But I'm just telling you, I've watched people lose deals over this.
Let the realtors deal with that.
And you can tell this book was never designed for wholesaling. And I got so many people quoting, I'm never going to split the difference again. I go, okay, well, I'll split the difference. I'll take 10 deals away from you. Guys, do not buy into that. It doesn't work in our business.
Number 2 is the reaffirm close. It's one of your favorites, right?
So guys, this is simple. This is the close that if everything's going great, this is what you do. This close just reminds you that don't overclose someone that's already committed to sell you the property. So the reaffirm close is like, okay, Mr. Seller, if I give you $110,000, I close it in 30 days and I pay for the closing costs and you're going to sign a contract today, then we can move forward and get everything done. Correct? Yes. Close them, sign it, move on. So many times you guys, you hover and you just try to like keep getting like that last bit of morsel. Move forward, reaffirm the close and get it signed. This is when everything's going perfect. And what happens is most new wholesalers, they struggle to close, meaning you never actually ask for the contract. You get such amazing rapport. I used to go on hours with sellers. Like sometimes you got to get to the point. So what happens a lot of times is when you get down to that final negotiation, if you guys can just find a transition point. So have you ever built so much rapport with a seller? You're like, this is going so wonderful. I want it to go forever. You know why? Because it feels really good. And you're trying to avoid the uncomfortable part of the conversation, which is getting down to the final close. This one's when everything's going great and go like this. Hey, Mr. Seller, I could talk to you all day, but the matter of fact is we're here to help you out with your house, and then just go into it.
Yeah.
Now, if, as we talked before, if I can close it in 30 days, buy the property as is, pay the closing cost, and I believe we agreed on 110. Is that correct? Okay. Can I go ahead and get the contract out? I'll get it signed and I'll get over to the title company so they can get started on this ASAP. Does that sound fair? That's it. So many of you guys skip the most basic closing technique because you talk them to death, or worse off, you walk out of there without a contract. Just remember, everything's going right. All I had to do is have to reaffirm the points I did on this and move forward, guys. This is the one. If you can do it because it's the simplest. Now they all, they all don't work out like this, but sometimes you ever had something going so good and you're like, something's going to blow up. Something's going to blow up. This just says, listen, some of my best deals have gone down just like that. Yeah. When they tell you everything you want to hear, get it signed. And here's the little key. If you're a talker like me, if you like talking to people, get it signed and sit down and have a cup of coffee with them and talk to them afterwards. It'll just solidify your deal. But be careful when you have a signed contract, you can say something to destroy it. And I don't want you to stay too long.
Yeah.
So this is when you're rambling on, you're not getting to the point. Get a break. Tell them, listen, I could talk to you all day. So let me go over the points here, reaffirm the close, and just ask for the ink on the contract.
Exactly. And this brings us back to the last one, which is number 1, the perfect offer close.
So I use this one when people are just battling me. Like this is the one where I just,
the New Yorkers, right?
I just throw up. I just throw my arms up. No. So the perfect world one is for the soft person. This one's a little more hardcore, and it's. I should call it the trap door close because you're.
Oh, okay, that one.
You're basically tricking them. Okay, and I don't mean to, but the problem is they're tying up all your time and you're not getting anywhere. And like you can't, like I can't get this guy or gal on a price. I can't get terms. I can't figure some stuff out, but there is motivation. And remember, guys, if they're not motivated, none of these closing techniques work. Zero. You can promise the world it's never going to work. So motivation is always key. I think we forgot to throw that in there. So in the perfect world, you simply, at your most frustrating time, go, listen, Zach, we've talked about so much. I want to buy the house. I want to help you out. Listen, what would a perfect offer look like to you? And just shut up. The reason for this is they are going to start spitting stuff off for you. Mm. And the minute I'm going to let them give me 2 things, and you're going to go, well, if you could offer like 10 grand more and like you could close, if you could close with my tenant in it, they usually put something wild on there. Go, listen, the offer I gave you, Zach, what is it missing? Mm. And then they're going to go, okay, we like this, but we didn't like that. And that gives you information so you can actually go back and close them. It is a disguised, listen, when I offer the perfect offer, it's because I'm so frustrated I can't get any information from you. I'm looking for a backdoor counter from you. So, hey, Zach, what's the perfect offer? And I just shut up. And he's going to ramble off one or two things, and I'm going to interrupt him. I go, listen, so tell me, what exactly is my offer missing?
Yeah.
And then you try to cater it. Now, it doesn't always work, but I'm just telling you, you're trying to elicit response out of shock out of him. And most people, they either have a dream scenario or they've never thought of it before and go, listen, what is my offer missing? When you do this, it allows them to open a window to you to tell you what they're missing. They never expect this. It's very shocking to them, but you have nothing to lose by using this strategy. And in this hyper aggressive market, a lot of what we're dealing with, it has worked really well, especially on like high-end deals with me. All of a sudden, people will give you exactly what they want when you tell it. Now, it doesn't mean it's going to fit your parameters, but guys, we all need a starting point to negotiating. All these 7 methods I'm teaching you, they're called closing methods, but the reality of any closing, all closings are what we call a trial closing. Okay. You can never, here's the essence of a real closing. Zach, are you going to sign that agreement? Yes or no?
Sure.
Okay. A closing is finality. It's over. Okay. These 7 techniques technically are what we call trial closings, meaning when somebody says no to your offer, it doesn't matter if it's real estate, a product, a widget, what it is. They're basically telling you they need more information, or they're extremely uncomfortable with you, or both. Your trial closes are so you can repivot, ask more questions, and keep it going. Okay. I know what you guys are thinking. Well, Rick, do I have to be a slick talking salesman? No, dude. I figured this out over 20 years. Like, I fumbled. Honestly, my first 2 years, I don't know how I made any money in wholesaling other than I was extremely consistent and I never stopped. I just learned these techniques because I just got frustrated with the number one response we get in wholesaling is, let me think about it, maybe, or let me talk to a third party.
Yeah.
And guys, if you look at these 7 lines, it allows you to pivot. You could actually use all 7 on one person. I've probably used 4 or 5 on one person.
Yeah.
Because when one doesn't work, I switch back around. And that's what we're here to talk about today.
Exactly. So guys, that is basically our 7 closing lines, but let's kind of break down.
It's for like 20 years just
unloaded
unloaded off my life there.
And it's true. But let's kind of break down more about the lines. So you guys know the lines, kind of what we said before in the beginning, but like, it's okay if the seller says no.
Actually, I'm okay with it. Like, and you need to be okay with it too. When a seller says no, they are saving you a ton of time. But here's the truth. They rarely say no, right?
Yes.
It's maybe. It's like.
Exactly. So don't beat yourself up. The seller says no.
Stay out of the friend zone.
Don't get the don't get the maybes. You're not going to close every deal. So one thing I did want to show, which some people get, some people won't, but you break down some of the best basketball players of all time. Their shooting percentage, their field goal percentage is like 44.7, 3-pointers, like 33%. I mean, free throws, Kobe's one of the best, but I'm just telling you, like, you don't make all of them. Like, you want to think like some of the best in the, now it's hard to like get like similarities between the two, but like everyone thinks Kobe's one of the best. He's like 44, like percent, 45%, like, and he's one of the best ever. And you got like, you don't have like the best closers don't close every single person.
They don't.
And it's just one thing you have to understand. And here's another thing. If you have a really good field goal percentage, you probably only shot like 10 games. Like you probably played like 2 games, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to be playing a lot of games to understand that. LeBron, for people who think LeBron's the best, we got 52% and 50% his career. Like it's not bad. Like I'm just like, that's pretty good.
It's better than me, for full disclosure.
And then like you go like the GOAT, you know, Michael Jordan, he's about 50%, which is amazing. Then you got to look at his times, but like, you know, 3-pointers, free throw percentage.
We're going to start that argument on this show?
We're not starting the argument, but what I'm telling you is like the best, and some people call him the best of all time. You know, his field goal percentage was under 50%, and he's definitely the best basketball player ever. I'm just telling you, like under 50%, and your closing rate should be better than 50%, but just know the best like in their sports are not 100%. Like Tom Brady, we give him all the flack, but like he doesn't win 100% of his games.
Where's Jimmy Butler's stats?
Jimmy Butler's.
Did you see those stats from last night?
We won't break that down, but like the best people, like they're not 100. Like the best closers, They're not 100%.
Go to baseball. It's a lot worse.
I just talk about
your highest
baseball.
one's what, like 350 average?
No, but the coolest part about sports, which you can technically put into wholesaling, which is so like it's kind of like sports. You lose a finals, everyone remembers it, right?
Mm-hmm.
The cool part about a deal is you don't get the deal. No one knows about it until you actually do it. Like your wins are basically the only ones. It's like fishing to a point. No one sees your bad days fishing. They only see your good days.
Yeah.
And that's the truth. So
It's like Facebook.
It's like Facebook, like
fake book.
Oh, okay. But I'm just telling you, like the best, like you can just do deals. And if you don't get the deal, it's not the end of the world. Like you're not getting 100%.
Like here's a full thing is number one, you want, well, you finish up or
no, we got one more here. So
more. Like I don't want to like ruin the secret here, but it's not a secret.
Here, I'll break down the quick secret. We'll do it. So how to become a king or queen at closing. Here's the truth. Practice.
You go to the Closer Olympics.
No, you don't. Oh my gosh.
Is there such thing?
I don't know.
I'm not going to
we're not,
I don't care. Listen, closing is something that nobody else sees, and you are going to be rewarded for what you practice in private for what you do in public. Meaning, if you do not spend time practicing this stuff, it means you're going to practice on your leads, and it's going to cost you a ton of money. Allen Iverson says it best, right? We're talking about practice, man. Like, I can't tell you, like, I'm going to help out as many people as I can today, but you got to be honest with yourself. If you're not going to practice the stuff, then you're going to struggle. Somebody will stump you. I guarantee you. Like I still get stumped to this day. And the really cool thing is when you go to a closing, you have your weapons, like your closing lines, your comps, everything. You have no idea how it's going to work out. How many times do you walk in closing and go, dude, this is a slam dunk? I walked in once. I actually walked into a deal. This is when I was younger and I went out on my own. And I thought I was meeting one young man, like in his 30s. 9 people showed up from the family. Guys, it was like a 15-round boxing match. And I got my butt kicked. I didn't get the deal. And I walked out of there. And I really let it affect me. It upset me. And I've learned is like when you guys have a loss, any sport you ever done, you just have to shake it off. Because other than my 1972 Dolphins, they're the only person that ever had a perfect season, and you are not going to have a perfect season. You're going to lose some stuff.
Or you haven't played enough games.
Don't start that.
No, but
don't start that with my.
No, but that's the
you don't
thing.
think the Dolphins played enough games?
No, but like Don Shula didn't have a perfect record, you know?
No, but like you have to take shots at everything. Like so that to have like Kobe or LeBron say they're never going to lose a game, like that's it. You just got to shake it off and move on and just kind of learn from it. You guys, and then I've had appointments to go, man, this guy is going to kick my butt. He was so.
Well, it's not even about
the
that.
Easiest deal in the world.
But it's not about like, yo, I'm going to get my butt kicked on a deal or something. I can go to a deal, and if the person just wants too much for the house, whatever I say is not going to work. Like I'm not upset at myself that I couldn't close. It's just they want too much for the house. There's nothing I can say. I'm not in the business to convince somebody to sell their house under duress or something.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they don't want to openly sell their house to me for cash,
that's a real.
I don't care. Yeah,
realtors will sit there and beat somebody up for hours when they don't even want to sell the property. Guys, you're never going to convince someone to do a really good deal. Either there's motivation and then you strike a price, but all this stuff, if you don't have motivation, none of it works.
No, and we're not in the business of forcing people to sell their house. If you want to sell it to us, we're willing to do it. It's a free market. Yeah. But if you don't, we're not here to like, I'm telling you. So we got one comment here. It says, all the closers in the Guru Triathlon say they have a closing rate 90 to 100%. The truth is you could quote unquote have a 90% closing rate. You're not going on enough appointments. You're
not going on enough appointments.
I don't have a 90% closing rate.
Like it just means your leads, you're cherry picking your leads. It's like no way.
Well, if I cherry picked my leads, I could probably get to 95%. But here's the thing. There's so many deals. There's so many deals where I go there. I don't even like, it's kind of 50-50. I'm going to get the deal or not because I don't know about the seller. Guess what happens? I walk out there and make like 80K.
Yeah.
It just, when you go in person, it's just a different feel. You don't really know until you really go there. And that's the honest truth. So
80 to 90%, like, listen, what did I'm not going to go over all these other people and these closing Olympics and like people actually pay to watch this event too. It's crazy. Is at the end of the day, wholesaling, you have to leave your ego at the door. Like if you think you are the greatest closer, I promise you, there's 1,000 people that are better than you.
Exactly. So I don't know if they have something like that. I don't know, but let's kind of
follow
talk.
it,
So let's go here. And so today is Wednesday. We do not have a live stream tomorrow. So what we're basically going to be doing is our 101s. Did some yesterday, do some today.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
So let's kind of get into it and talk to the people one-on-one. And let's go see what we can do to help the people out. So without further ado, let's talk. Hello. Hello. Anybody?
Danny, you there?
All right.
We'll come back.
All right. Next here we got Michael.
Yes, sir. What's going on, Zach? What's
What's
going
up?
on, Rick?
What's
How are
up,
you?
Michael?
I'm doing good, man. Shout out to you guys. All the sorry about that. Your alarm is going off.
He's on fire.
Oh,
Every time.
man. Okay. Yeah, man. Shout out to you guys and what you guys doing. The content that you guys put out is great. I've got questions about the way you guys were talking about the other thing. Just today I was at a what is it called? A RIA. So it was talking about closing and also being the best interest for the seller, and I guess the same thing, just to look for offers and stuff like that.
Okay. So what questions you got? How can we help you become a better wholesaler?
The way my structure is right now. So
Okay.
I've got a couple of calls that I was working on. I was trying to edit them out so I don't, give out some people's address while on live. I don't know if anybody out
Smart.
there might,
Or do it.
Yeah.
No.
I was in the middle of doing that. Can I come back and we can go over my calls and you guys kind of give me a rating on there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Just in the private chat.
Okay.
All right.
Okay,
Okay.
we'll wait for you, Michael.
All right.
Thank you.
Cool. And then we got Fernando, and then we got Brandon next. Brandon, we can't pop you on if you're partaking in holiday festivities, but just FYI, we got you after Fernando.
What do you mean holiday festivities?
Fernando, what is up?
Hey guys, how you doing?
I'm
Hey.
blessed. How are you?
Good. Good to talk to y'all. Good to see you again. It's been a while.
Awesome,
Yeah.
man. How's Pensacola?
It's going good. It's going good. I'm working hard. I'm taking some action. So I just want to tell you guys what I've been doing, and I have a few questions if you're okay to help me out.
I
what
think
we're
we're
here for.
okay. I
Yeah,
think
we're
we're okay with it.
do it.
You're good, man.
So I just want to tell you guys, I got my bandit signs. If you want to look at them right there.
I like it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I got them right there. I ordered 50 of them, like you guys said, just to start out, get a feel for it, get a feel for them.
Wait, can I see him one more time? Cover the phone number if you want.
I'm sorry.
Can I say it one more time?
Cover some of your phone numbers.
Yeah,
so you
cover
don't
the
get
phone number
random,
real quick.
like the last digit or something.
Yeah, let me see the full thing. So take it to your. All right. All right, that looks good. You only got 50, right?
Yeah,
All right, for the next, get those out and see how they do. Is it one-sided or two-sided?
one-sided.
All right.
Smart.
The one thing I have found, which that's perfect, man. The one thing I will tell you is you need to make that phone number way bigger,
Okay.
and you got to make the text bigger. So like,
Mhm.
I like the house thing that looks nice. Keep it simple, dude. Like
Yeah.
my best deals from Bandit Signs are always the stupid simple ones. We buy houses cash.
Yeah.
Huge phone number.
Yeah.
And we used to put the phone number on the top if the grass is too high.
In the summertime.
And so those will work. I'm always, the bigger the phone number, the better. So that blue one's really cool. I would probably, like, if you do some deals from it, try like a white on blue, white on black. What was it? Yellow and then black on it. But yeah, FYI, that's just what I do on the next batch you order.
For sure.
The phone number is the most important part.
You got to make it bigger.
Exactly. And that's
Yeah.
why we try to stop you at 50, because there's a learning curve.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
I started out doing bandit signs. I taught him how to do it. I'm going to tell you, graphics, nobody cares about graphics on bandit signs. I'm just telling you the truth. So
It looks good. I mean,
I like it.
doesn't
So
look
the
bad.
only thing I tell people do not put on the bandit sign is put "we buy houses." It numbs people. So,
we
you
buy
have
houses
your name on it.
cash.
You have your name on it. That which is, I don't remember what the top said. That's fine.
Fernando buys houses.
Correct.
The one thing I would tell you though, Fernando, is he's got it right there. Those look great. The one thing you're going to get a call on, I'm just telling you, which you already know, is going to be code enforcement.
Mm-hmm.
Ring, ring. Hey, is this Fernando?
Yeah.
Now, you're going to have to say yes. And there ain't no line.
Yeah, that's the only part that's you kind of like pigeons.
But they're going to ask, hey, who are you, Fernando? What's your address? Who's your name? What's your phone name? All this stuff. You ain't giving that. All right.
Yeah.
No,
We're
for
using a DBA, man. All right. If you like pigeonholed, I would put your like a middle name or like a random last name if you want, but like you got to make sure. Well, this is Fernando. We work with Fernando buys houses. Are you looking to sell your property? If they don't answer that, it's. I'm giving some basics because they're going to try to get your address and then try to get you fines and stuff.
Okay.
They're aggressive, but
Dude,
like
I put out not tens of thousands, but like
lot.
thousands and thousands of signs.
we used to
I
have our
probably
own,
have-
we used to have our own printing press. Like we
I've
bought
had
the whole thing.
I probably have
It's
$25,000 still outstanding in fines, quote unquote.
crazy. Yeah, it was
But
bad.
I've avoided every time because
Yeah.
they got really frustrated with me. So if you have someone off the bat just trying to get your info, be very careful.
Well, just go through your qualifying questions because a city employee will never take the time to answer them. Like, so if you stick to your guns, it's fine. And start out with 50 and then take note of what works and what doesn't. I have my simple advice for any type of bandit signs is don't worry about graphics. Make the phone number as big as you humanly possibly can get away with.
Okay.
And just
Those will work though.
Yeah, try to keep everything to 3 lines. So like 1 line, 2 line, and your phone number is the 3rd line. There's no more room on these signs.
Okay.
So, you just throw them out there. You guys would be shocked how good these signs work. And if you're like, well, they're expensive. I'm telling you, if you can find someone that will sell you the whiteboards, go to Home Depot, get the black marker, find somebody with good handwriting. If you have doctor's handwriting like me and Zach, don't write it yourself.
Terrible handwriting. I guess.
And just do it on one side. And it's like you can whip out 20 signs in 10 or 15 minutes. It's not a big deal. People are like, I'm waiting for money to get bandit signs. They go like, honestly, at the end of the day, people don't care how like pretty your bandit signs are. It's like, can you help them if they have a problem?
Well, for example, everyone asks us how we find like tenants for our rentals. Legit, like the best tenant we ever have just took the regular yellow sign, Sharpied, ready?
Yeah.
House for rent, and put it in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
Tenant next day, perfect
It's
job.
so much better than any
W2.
Facebook ad because it's all about location.
Yeah.
You're getting people driving the neighborhood. You're getting friends that are visiting the neighbors. Like, man, I'd love to rent next door.
So you find some good deals in a neighborhood, hit it. So
and then put them up in front of. You understand how a bandit sign works? Is when you drive by it, like they got to be going slow enough to be able to write the number down. Like they go, oh, well, let's take a picture with their phone. I go, unless they're at a stop sign or red light, that is not a possibility. So I love Walmart's, Home Depots, any busy shopping centers. What else? Lowe's, anything like that.
But yeah, they work, man. So what are the questions you got?
Yeah, no, I've noticed that, I've been putting them out. I have been noticing that people have been pulling them out, which is, frustrating, but
I got tips for you, man. I got the tips. I can help you.
Sure. What are they? What are the tips?
All right. So number 1, I'm going to get in trouble for this. So I will tell you what my friends have done.
Okay.
I'll tell you what my friends have done. I don't know if I can't say I've ever done this, especially in the past 2 years. I've never done this. I can only tell you what suggestions I've seen from friends. I've had friends, use bandit sign staplers. They just make on Home Depot and staple them to wooden poles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Theoretically, they could stay on there for years, and they might have stayed for years, and I might still get calls today. Other people get a lot more aggressive with it, which I'll tell you, I've not done this in years, and I do not condone it. But
I know what you're about
people
to say.
zip tie them to stop signs. They zip tie them to like crazy things, and they do not get off. They do not.
But if you do that, Just for all fair, you have to have a 2-person operation because somebody's got to drive the car and someone's
You
got to
could
run
do
like a
one.
madman.
You could do one. I've done one.
And you typically got to do it in off hours.
And so it's the bandit signs in the middle, and then in the top middle, you just zip tie them off. Then you cut the extra thing on there. Very hard for those to go down. Stop signs, wooden poles. Those work very well if you are sick of people putting stuff off, because it's usually a runner or like a pedestrian who gets sick of it, just kicks it or something. Or one big one is lawn people that are cutting the grass. Those run them over. So a lot of zip ties work very well. You got the big thick ones, my friends tell me. It's up to you what you want to do, but those things work very well. And
zip tie them to stop signs?
Yeah, there's holes on the stop sign poles, and you just put them in the middle.
It's most people will not.
Don't cover the stop sign.
Do it, but
yeah.
Listen, it's questionable. Like, is it illegal?
It's a gray area.
It's a gray
Fernando, if someone comes up to you and says, "What are you doing?" I've had the fire department come up to me. A fireman. I love the fire department. I love our firefighters. They save lives. They're great. Yeah. I had a firefighter guy come up to me, and he said, "Who are you? What's your information?" I'm like, "Are you a police officer?" I'm a firefighter. I'm like, I just ignore. Like, you don't have, these people aren't detectives. You don't have to answer a firefighter when he comes up to you and just tells you what's right and wrong. I don't care. Like, you're a firefighter. You know, you have no jurisdiction here. I mean, you got a pedestrian saying, "What are you doing?" or whatever. If a sometimes I have code enforcement, like they'll come up to you and ask you what you're doing or like whatever. Are you a police officer? No. You have no right to go answer these people. Now, if you have a cop comes up to you, you have to tell the truth. Always say everything.
Just
but
say,
like,
listen, dude,
and
blame it. Go third party. My boss is making me put these out.
I always say
if I don't do it.
I have a firefighter come up to me. I'm like, well, my boss, he tells me to. Who's your boss? He just tells me to do it. A cop's a different story, but like, I mean, just do it. You feel safe, but always experiment. That's all I can say.
So when I used to do bandit signs for the least amount of resistance in traffic, I would go out in the middle of the night and do it. It was just easy. I don't put in headphones.
You're lucky though, Fernando, because I stopped bandit signs when the masks weren't a thing.
Yeah.
If I was doing it now, oh, my hat, a mask, it'd be great.
Yeah,
I use my face every time.
It is awkward when you walk up to an intersection at like 5:30 at peak traffic.
But you get to wear like a mask.
People like get all ticked off. Now, listen, if you're going to run around and do the zip tie thing with a partner, you want to try to find off hours. The problem doing it in the middle of the night, I'm going to forewarn you, is if a cop pulls up to you, it doesn't look good when you're running around in the middle of the night. So like wee hours in the morning when the sun's coming up before traffic, you can do a lot of damage. So I used to do it in the middle of the night, and we got questioned so much I stopped doing it, because if you ever been sat there and interrogated by a police officer, don't really
care. Like, I mean, they're actually,
they don't. And so they see somebody running from a car though.
But they're trying to protect you. What I've seen happens best when I do bandit signs, just in general. Walk like you own the place. You're doing nothing, because you're technically not. Like, there's no specific, like Port Saint Lucie does have laws around it. I don't think Escambia County does. If you just walk in like you know what you're doing and like you have a job and you're actually doing a task, you're fine. I've had people put bandit signs, like one of our bandit sign guys, really stapling. He was stapling. He's had the cops come at him twice, and they're like, "What are you doing?" And he's like, "Oh, I'm just putting signs out." And the cops just like, "Okay," and they go by. It's happened so many times. Just go from authority. You're going to be fine. Now, if you are acting like you're not supposed to be doing something, you're not good. So come from a good way of authority, but I've had so much bandit sign knowledge. I can't share.
Just kill them with kindness. Listen, they work. You get them in front of people. They will call somebody on the comment, but like, why don't you put a website on the bottom? Because websites don't close people.
And then you have your website name, code enforcement. That's a cake.
You got to have the whole idea is the call,
just
so
the phone
you can
number.
vet them and see if there's any motivation. A website's not going to do that for you. Like, I wish it would, but the reality is it won't.
And it has worked. Like, I've gotten well, funny story. The first person that called was like the first day I started putting them, and it was like, "Hey, you put this in my lawn. Don't do it again." "Oh, I'm sorry." And they hung up. And I'm like, I didn't put it in anybody's lawn. I just put them in front of stop signs. So I don't know what that was about. So but
Fernando, treat every phone call like somebody call. Everybody calls you on an inbound lead because they typically have a problem. and they're scared to tell you what it is. You're going to get some people just kick the tires and waste your time. They're easy to identify. But when someone kind of calls and just like weird stuff, they're basically telling you, go, look, I got a big problem. I'm just trying to see if you're trustworthy that I can even work with. So it's so easy in bandit signs to write everybody off because you get like some real tire kickers. But you just kill them with kindness, because if you assume every lead's bad, when you get that one good one, you will kick it to the curb and you'll never know you just let like a $50,000 deal come apart. Some of my biggest deals in the early part of my career came from bandit signs, and I never forget it. In my area, we were so good at bandit signs. I would like to take full credit. We actually have laws now, that prevents us. Like, I have to go to court. And if I don't show up to court, they issue a warrant for your arrest. So
I'm very proud, though. I have created, from all the counties I've done bandit signs in, I've created at least 15 full-time paying jobs on code enforcement.
Yeah.
So I'm very proud of that.
Plus the people we paid to put them out, everything. It was, but guys, if you can get away with doing bandit signs, not because they really, really do work. So are they controversial? Yeah, for obvious reasons. So
yeah, so yeah, like they work. I see other people, put them out and they stay there. I'm just like, I just gotta be, I guess, consistent, more volume maybe.
Consistency is key, man.
Yeah. So the second person that called me was like a few days later. It was actually like a warm lead. He's like a tire landlord, and
awesome.
He called me and he's like, "Oh, he was Persian, so he had an accent."
Yeah.
So he called me and then, "Oh, you sell house?" Like, I'm not trying to get no low ball offers from all you. I'm like, no, sir. Yeah. And I'll be honest, I did make mistakes. I got a little bit too excited, and he's like, "Can you come over?" I'm like, and I didn't qualify him, didn't do any. Well, I kind of qualified him, but not really. I was just excited, and it was close to where I live, so I'm like, okay, why not? I'll just go over, meet him, and do all that. I do admit that was a horrible mistake. I shouldn't have done it, but I was excited.
Yeah. So just remember, you got to kind of, when you go and meet with him, you got to always be pulling away, even a little bit on the phone. So a lot of times,
careful.
I used to teach Zach, like, he goes, "I got a lead. The guy wants me to come over right now. What do?" I go, "Tell him you have 2 other houses to look at, and you might be able to get there by the end of the day."
Yeah.
And was it a lie? Yes, it was. But the idea is, if I run over there, it's like Pavlov's dog. Now I'm trained. And to take authority, go, listen, you got to, like, even though you're super excited for now, you go like, okay, well, listen, I got a couple other things brewing. What's your availability on this afternoon or something like that? And kind of go from there. So if you get there in 5 minutes, they're going to like, man, boy, you're not very busy, are you?
Yeah, for sure. Nah, yeah, so, I dropped the ball there.
You got it. It's okay.
Yeah,
you just learn.
Yeah, for sure. And anyway, so it ended up being a duplex. He wanted $200,000 for it, and I actually went back and saw one of y'all's videos, I think on freewholesaling.com or either on the YouTube channel, on how to value multifamily, because I'm like, there's not many comps in the area I can get it from. I'm like, I don't know. So what I did is I'm in a RIA group, right? So I joined one of those, and like,
good.
We're all very supportive. And so I saw one of y'all's videos, and you said to go off what was it? The cap rate.
Yes. Income.
So,
yeah.
Exactly. And so he told me each side rents for $1,200 each month. So it's $2,400 a month. And he wanted $200 for the property. So I'm like, okay, so if I'm going off the 1% rule, it's $2,400, $240,000. Maybe this can work. It didn't need much repairs, anything at all. So I went off, the cap rate. I went on my local RIA group. I'm like, hey, my cash buyers in the group or investors, what kind of cap rates are y'all looking for your multifamily properties that you would be willing to pay for? And the only 2 ones that actually responded to me, and like I went back and forth with, they said that they don't really go off cap rates, because anything less than a 4-unit is still considered like a single family. Resident.
Every buyer's different.
Yeah, but go ahead. That's a technical answer.
Okay.
But honestly, a cap rate is just used for people to figure out what an ROI is, a return on investment. So if I pay $100,000 for a unit and I figure out the cap rate is 12%, can I take that money and bring it to higher and better use? That's all you're doing when you do that. I agree, 4 units or less, but like, honestly, it gives you a starting point, and people, like, you can say, listen, if you invest in this, you're getting a 12% return. You're just educating your buyers. Some go for it, some don't. Some go anything under 4 is not really a cap rate. Technically, they're right, but you still have to do some sort of evaluation, right, Fernando? Like, how do you know if it's good or bad?
At the end of the day, you just got to lock it up for the lowest price and give it to a buyer and see what they're going to pay for it. Like we can get all the analysis into it. Yeah. Just lock it up and see what the buyer's going to pay.
But buyers will come back and ask you that. And if you already have the information, it's much easier and you look much more professional and confident in your ability to be a wholesaler when you go, oh, I don't even know what you're talking about. So at least you're prepared and you get it. Like cap rates technically shouldn't be figured for anything more. Should be 50 units or above if you really want to get into the game. But like I do them all the time. Like every now and then I look at it, I go, I can't find a comp for this property. Like what kind of return we get if we bought it for $100,000? Landlords do these analysis all day long. Don't kid yourself.
Yep.
Okay.
That's the bank's legal definition, by the way. 4 units or less, there's no cap rate.
Yeah. So what they that's really good to know actually, because I was so confused. But I'm glad to hear that. So what we ended up figuring out is that this property has been under 3 wholesalers and they all dropped the contract or it didn't go through for some reason because, he wanted too much. He wanted for something. Yeah. So it's actually worth 170. He wants to at least 200 and the investors I talked to are at least, they only are willing to pay 120. So I'm like, okay, I got to get this thing under 120. I don't care if I make $1,000. I just want to like close it as much as I can. I offered him 105 and he said no. Either way, it was dead. I just wanted to share that story with y'all. And
so Fernando, one of the comebacks I come back when someone's been under contract with like 2 or 3 wholesalers, like you already know what you got, right? Like you got someone with a wish list and then you got wholesalers that just want an initial yes. Like they're not educated in how to do the investment game. Whenever they do that, they go, Mr. Seller, are you done playing these games? Because at the end, like if he truly wants to get it sold, he knows he needs a contract that's going to stick. We've already proven these numbers don't work. Mm-hmm. So in order for us to move forward, so just try using that technique. If you guys have if they've been under contract 2 or 3 times, tell them, listen, like I don't want to be in the same boat. We need to find a different approach. So,
okay. And just so I don't take much of your time, this is where I actually need a little bit of help. So yesterday I was cold calling my code violation list. I got a really good lead. He's an investor, just wants to get rid of one of his like old properties that's not in the best side of town. Yeah. He offered me he said that his bottom line was like 65. And I did my comps and if I did it right, which I actually want to see if I can send y'all the address to the private chat. Maybe you can help me out with this if that's okay. But if I did my comps right, the ARV should be at 100,000, 100 and something thousand. 100.
Have you looked in the property?
Inside, no. I've just talked to him over the phone. I haven't gone in.
Oh, you have to go inside of it. No, man. Like we can look up ARVs all day and like we can argue first. And I got to see I don't know what the thing's worth. So the ARV could be $1 million, but if it needs 800,000 in repairs, then like we're just kind of just talking shop.
For sure. Yeah, you're right. Like what I'm thinking about is I'm just estimating from how it looks on the outside. He did say that the inside doesn't look worse than the outside. So I don't know. I'm guesstimating $20,000 in repairs, but that's a total guess. Like there's no logic to that whatsoever based on the square footage and all that.
Did you ask him when the last time he's been inside the property?
Last time he's been inside the property?
Yeah. You'd be shocked to answer some of these landlords. They're like, I haven't been there in 10 years. If they say something like that, you're in for a rude awakening. If he goes, I was just there yesterday and he says it looks good on the inside, then you got something to go with. So
you can send us it in the chat. We'll tell you. But again, I can tell you whatever number. I don't know what the repairs, so I can't even tell what the MAO is going to be.
And that's one of the biggest problems wholesalers deal with. Like sometimes you don't know till you go there. And that's some of the challenge with virtual investing is the inside could be trashed and your numbers are way off.
For sure.
And until you get that verification, you're kind of stuck. Yeah, you listen to the clues, but like a tired landlord, it's probably not going to be in great shape.
Yeah.
No, yeah. Well, this isn't the tired landlord. It's the other one. This is just a guy who wants to get rid of his. Should I send it over or
sure, you can send it over
in the private chat?
Send it over, but you're going to have to get inside.
Yeah,
because it's like doing an algebra problem and you're missing one of the numbers. Until we have that number, you don't like know if it's going to work.
I'm already telling you what my answer is going to be. I watched it. You just got to lock this thing up for the lowest and see what a cash buyer is going to pay for it.
Because then you go there and it doesn't meet your expectations. That's your permission slip to renegotiate.
You can always make $5,000 on these deals. So like I'm looking at here. 1 square feet are all off on this one, but it's a 2.2.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's a 2.2 and the square feet is 860.
Okay, and what do you think the ARV is?
About 100,000. Because there's three really good ones that sold pretty recently. One's for 100. One is really like it was remodeled and everything. It sold for 130 like about a month ago, 135 I mean. The other one sold like about 5 months ago or 6 months ago, went for 95, and the other one went for 100 like a month ago.
All right, and this was listed in March. It literally was listed April 2nd, 20 days ago, for 70 grand.
65.
65 and then 70.
And he
you know that?
No, on Zillow? Are you looking it up? Let me see.
Realtor.com.
Okay, no. I did not know that. Okay, so it was
Look
listed.
it up, man. So I already have statistics saying it's already not selling for 70, so you got to be under that price.
Okay.
Yeah. There's a reason it's
my
off
guess
the
is you
market.
lock up at 50 and sell it for 60. That's my guess. But you got to go look at it, man. Like the ARV doesn't even matter anymore. I know what it won't sell for on the market.
It's the inside, which is what you need to find
And there's
out.
no pics anywhere. So it's bad because he didn't take pictures of it. So get some more info, man. Look up on all the websites, not just Zillow.
Okay.
Just Google it, like the whole thing, and go through every one of them. So
that's it.
All right. Well, yeah.
You got it, Fernando.
You got it.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate your time.
Okay,
Thank you.
I'll see you, man. Yeah, Brandon's like, man, when are they going to get to me?
Brandon, what's up?
What's up, man? Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
All right.
How can I help you become a better wholesaler today?
Yeah. So I just had a couple questions, but the first one is sorry about that, man.
That's okay.
You're good.
The first question being, I had an appointment yesterday and I made an offer, and he told me he was going to get the contract. I thought that I'd be able to pre-fill it out. And so he asked for a copy of the contract. So I had one in my car. So I gave him a copy of the contract as well as the contract that was pre-filled out. And he said that he was going to run it by his lawyer's office and that his lawyer would give me a call today. So fast forward today, he called me about 2 hours ago and he said that his lawyer won't be in the office until the 12th of May. So yeah, I'm just trying to figure out where I should go from here with that one.
Well, you're gonna have to wait. Unfortunately, you're getting an excuse, and it's not something you can overcome. The only way to do it is say, "Hey, I know you want to look at your lawyer, but I mean, your lawyer's not being reliable or anything. So why don't we go by my title company? They have a lawyer there, and they can talk about it. They're a third party. I don't pay them. They have no financial interest on this deal, but they can explain it. And have you done any deals before with that contract?
No, this is going to be my first deal here.
So see if there's a lawyer or a title clerk or something, and they can talk with the seller and kind of explain everything. Hopefully there's usually a lawyer there, and they can talk with the seller and just meet them there to explain it. And usually they're comfortable enough from there to sign it. And it's a free lawyer. They get to save some money. And just ask the title company. They have a lawyer there that can look over the contract, and we can use their title people, and they can get paid on it. Usually it's a win-win.
Yeah. I mean, the key, Brandon, is like the frustrating part about wholesaling is you're trying to find out if your seller is telling you the truth or not. That's just the honest truth. This is 50-50. Sometimes they lie to you. Sometimes they honestly are waiting for the lawyer to get back. And if you ever work with the lawyer, it's not uncommon for them to like disappear for 2 or 3 weeks. Like it's the norm. So like simple things like, oh, great. Which lawyer do you work with? And if they rattle it off like it's there, it's probably legit. And you just got to kind of find out nicely. You can give them the benefit of the doubt. Most people, it's usually a week or 2. So you're at, what are we, that's like 3.5 weeks or something like that. That's kind of a long time.
I thought that was reasonable. So I just told him that that we could touch base about then.
Yeah.
So why would he be stalling? Like what would be a reason for that?
You want to know? So how did your appointment go? I mean, it meet your expectations. You're like, man, this is better than I thought it was going to be.
It was pretty straightforward, man. To be honest, it was an infill lot, and he had just demolished it and got it rezoned for a fourplex.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, it was straightforward. I felt like I built rapport. He was an old guy, and so
Yeah.
I was chopping it up with him. We were walking the property, and I was telling him some ideas I had for it. So it seemed like it was pretty straightforward. I wasn't expecting him to. I was expecting a call from a lawyer today, or you know what I mean. So
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting him to be like, you know what I mean? Like 50-50 on it. I thought it was going to be straightforward. But like I said, I'm pretty new to this, so I wouldn't really know.
So this is the part of wholesaling that you can appreciate it. Like we all go through it. And like in the beginning, I just wanted to give everybody the benefit of the doubt. I just assumed everybody told me the truth. And it's a fine line to walk. Sometimes you have to. So listen, if the May 12th comes up, you're kind of already committed to the deadline. So you're going to have to just see it out. And I wouldn't wait till May 12th to talk to him. I find an excuse or two to call him. Like, hey, is there anything that's is there anything I'm missing in that offer? And what I want to do is make sure he's okay with the offer. Because if he's okay with the offer, if he's going to blame something on his lawyer, it's going to be hard for him to backtrack. So if the lawyer's not comfortable with some of the language or something, that's some of the stuff you got to deal with, which I hate. But most lawyers want to find something wrong. That's how they justify all their fees and everything. It's just, but reaffirm to him like he's okay with the price, the terms, and everything. So when he comes back, my lawyer said I can't do it because of this. If it doesn't add up, well, you told me you were okay with the price before. Sometimes lawyers steer him towards, dude, it's an infill lot. It's not complicated. Like if it had a house on it, would even make more sense. So you're going to have to court them. I give every seller the benefit of the doubt until I verify they lied to me. Once they lie to me, I kind of go after them hard. Okay. So you're going to have to honor your agreement and just kind of go forward. And that's part of the upfront agreement. Like, who's going to be the decision maker on it. You got to understand when you sell a lot or a piece of property, and you really don't need a lawyer. Because if I'm selling you a piece of property for $100,000 and maybe I agreed to pay my share of the closing cost, I know I'm going to walk away with at least 95, 96 grand. Like it's not complicated. Like the seller really can't get screwed by you. Like, what are you going to sign the deed over with nothing? That's why Zach says offering with the title company shows legitimacy and everything. And a lot of times, so you have a title company established, right?
Yeah, I made contact with them. I just started this whole process last Thursday, but Monday I found a pretty wholesale-friendly title company. They said they work with people like me all the time, so I'll just give them.
Your title company will help verify who you are, and lawyers like to work with title companies. For full disclosure, they hate dealing with wholesalers. It's just the truth. So don't get rid of the word wholesaler. You're just a guy who buys real estate. And a lot of times if my title company has an attorney involved, if I can't get an answer and I get the attorney's info, I'll have them reach out to it because they listen. Our client Brandon wrote a contract. They told you to get back May 12th. Is there any information you need additional from us? Not coming from you, from them, because they're going to have more experience talking to a lawyer. Right. Lawyers they hate talking to us. They act like we're like the lowest grade people in the world, and it ticks me off. To this date, I do not deal with a lawyer. I always have somebody else call them because you don't want me to get me going on lawyers, but you're on the right path. I would just try to follow through on the May 12th. Don't wait till May 12th. Having an excuse or two to call them to verify some information, and maybe get your title company involved and go, listen, can we at least start running the title to make sure by the time your lawyer gets it, we'll have a title report. We'll have everything, anything to get them committed, like to moving forward. Your worst nightmare is having him take your contract, shop it around to other wholesalers, and use it as leverage against you.
That's what I thought.
That's the poison pill in like what you did with this. But like I get it. It is what it is. I can't stop it. But if you called him, he's probably getting a lot of phone calls. How did you connect with this lead?
It was driving by and he had a for sale sign, like just a sign on top of the property. So I just gave him a call.
Yeah. So the first thing, if he wouldn't get upset, I would take the for sale sign down to stop traffic. That's just, I'm an aggressive type of marketer. And that's like, if he says, hey, Brandon, did you take my sign down? And go, listen, we're just waiting for final approval from your lawyer and we're ready to rock and roll. Like you can go, if that's a problem, I'll put it back. Okay. If he says, put it back, you already know what his intentions are.
Yeah. He's shopping the deal.
That's it. Like, that's what they do. It's like, you know it, and you learn and you go forward with it, Some people will lie to you. It hurts, but it's the reality of the business. Just make sure you don't lie back to them because you don't want to get into that trap.
Okay. All right. So just to be straightforward, so I just need to touch base to make sure that he's cool with all the terms as far as I know, and then
Reaffirm. So just like I do in the closing, hey, just want to reaffirm everything here, and then maybe have your title company get involved, like reaching out when you get that lawyer's information if you can get it, and then have your title company reach out to the seller and just, hey, listen, do you mind if we get some information? By the way, most of your title companies will run title. Even if it doesn't close, they won't charge you. It doesn't cost them a ton of money to pull title.
okay.
And then they can start asking them questions and like get them start being committed. The more you can get them committed.
I
And
see.
the last thing, you make the decision, take down that for sale sign, because in your mind, you have a verbal agreement. You're just waiting for consent of the third party. So if he lights you up but if he lights you up and you have to put it back, you already kind of know where he's going. So either way, you'll get an answer. You got to do some uncomfortable things in wholesaling. It's just the truth.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
And then just one more question, just as far as clarity. I've been checking out the videos on closing, and I saw where Rick said that you prefer not to go to closings, just so that you don't have to deal with like last minute renegotiations. And then I saw a video where Zach said to actually go with the seller and then have the buyer come after. So I was just wondering, is that for preference because you just prefer to do it a little different, Rick, or is there a situation that warrants a different, like to go or to not?
Well, my method is if you're honest and upfront and you deal with all the problems and you work with your title company, there's no reason for you to actually go to a closing other than like sign the ink. The problem is if you go to traditional closings for title companies, a buyer and a seller sits across the table and there's usually two realtors leaning over their shoulders.
You don't have to go to the thing. The only reason I say is so you get a testimonial from the seller. That's it. And when you're a beginner, you probably need the testimonials.
Correct.
So when he says that you don't have to go to the closing title company, he's saying that from an experienced look.
Okay.
When I'm talking about it for a younger person, they probably need some experience, especially when you're younger. Having those testimonials look really good for you.
Yeah. So
That's it.
You
Whatever
start
you
out
want.
getting testimonials, and then towards the end, if you do everything right, I usually pre-sign a day or two before.
Well, you don't have to sign anything for wholesaling to a point.
Correct. Because if you
Yeah, so there's no pre-signing. I mean, you're talking about buying the house, but you're young, you haven't got any deals yet, so I would definitely go there just to get the testimonials.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you're starting out, and then because I plan right now, like I live in San Diego currently, but I'm in Minneapolis right now. Just
Virtual, you're fine. You don't have to go.
Yeah, then that's perfect on it. So he's talking from a beginner's level, and I'm just talking once you do like multiple deals, like because they only ask you for stuff when you sit across the table or you say something and you open up Pandora's box, and that's all we want you to avoid on it. So if you're honest and transparent, there should never be a hiccup at closing.
Okay. All right. Yeah, that's all, guys. I really appreciate your time, man.
Okay, let us know how it works out, man. You got it.
Thank you.
Okay.
Perfect. All right. Justin.
Oh. Hey, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, my webcam's been dying, so I wasn't sure.
No problem.
Not a whole lot. Honestly, this was just kind of like a checkup call because for that 90-day challenge, you were saying, just check up and
Awesome, man.
update and everything. Trying it. We'll see how it goes. It's the second week. It's been good so far, though. So you said to get 100 driving for dollar leads. I was a little short of that, so I got extra code violation stuff. And I've had 20 people that said they're interested, and I'm meeting with 2 of them this weekend.
Action.
Yeah. So that you know what? Kudos to you, Justin, for like being accountable and making like this call because it's.
I have so many people who just, wait, it doesn't work.
You can call in and complain all you want. It ain't gonna fix your situation. You got to go out and like do it. So tell us more.
What market are you in?
So actually, I'm in the same market as Fernando. I'm in Pensacola, Escambia, Santa Rosa area.
That's great, man. Dude, I always told everyone. Like, I had one college roommate from Pensacola. I always told him, like, you got a wholesale there. He doesn't listen to me. But I'm like, dude, if I was there, I would clean up. It's like, it's basically Alabama with a beach.
Yep.
It's great, man. Alabama's got a beach, but it's pretty there. But, dude, great market, man. There's plenty of money for everyone. Mm-hmm. So much money there. The whole panhandle, like, where's Santa Rosa Beach? I don't know how far that's from you. Like,
it's about an hour away.
that whole like hour east to
Yeah.
here, it's all money, man. There's so many deals.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting because we have Pensacola, which is about a $200,000 average home price. Then we have Gulf Breeze, which is closer to $500,000. Then we have
Yeah,
the Beach,
wow.
which is closer to $1 million. And then over we have Navarre, and then we have Panama City, and then you have a place called Rosemary Beach, which is like a billionaires who chasing out millionaires kind of market.
Cool.
Dude,
You got a good mix.
it's amazing, man. Like, I mean, under 200 ARV, clean up there. It's great, man.
Yeah,
Not
especially
a
with
lot of
everybody
wholesalers there
Florida.
either.
I
It
know.
really isn't.
The amount of
Oh,
I actually personally I hate talking. I get super nervous on the phone and everything like that. So this has been probably one of the hardest things I've done so far for financial career, I guess. But it's been fun so far. There's
Guess
a lot
what?
of
It gets
learning.
easier, man.
That's the
Wait.
hope. That's the hope.
what is that? Gaming PC in the back?
Oh, dude, I got 7 monitors in here.
What's your best game you're at? You got
best game? Well,
where are you best at?
Well, CS:GO.
CS:GO,
Yeah.
bro. I've played CS:GO. I'm okay at it. I know some guys that are very highly up there.
Yeah.
I mean, you already know the answer, man. How do you get really good at CS:GO, especially online on PC?
Hours of practice with that, right?
You got to practice, man. Like, I remember starting playing CS:GO. It was like 5th grade. It was terrible. I just kept playing it, you know.
Yep.
I went from Xbox to playing PC, dude. I didn't know how to do a keyboard and mouse. I learned though, man. And I wasn't a natural talker either. The more you do it, the easier it gets.
Yeah, so that's been the thing for me is like just being able to talk to people this week has been really huge for me, and then having people that I'm able to like actually be motivated to possibly sell. Funny enough, the place that Fernando sent, I have a deal that I'm going to this weekend in the same street.
Dude, I'm telling you, there's money everywhere. There's money everywhere. There's
and that's the street you can do like the reverse marketing method. Just if you can get those lists and stuff like that, because once you find in like one area, that's your target. That's where you can just start taking them down. Because once you're confident in what the comps and the numbers are, it gets really easy.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And one tip I give to you, which I think you've heard me say before, but like you're doing drawing for dollars.
Yeah,
dude, just spend $3, get a bunch of sticky notes. You find you know the house I'm talking about. I used to drive for dollars like crazy. You find that one house, man, with a stupid high grass. You got to just slap that sticky note on the house. You won't get a call for like 2 months, but you do 100 of those.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get like a couple a week. They're money, man.
Mm-hmm. It's a lot of writing.
What is that better than going and trying to like manually call? Because you said it's kind of harder for you to talk. It's better than just coming to you. It's a way easier conversation than actually going out. So the outbound is so much more difficult than the inbound.
Yeah. So I actually, I know that you said that you don't want to have a VA until you get about 100 leads or $100,000 a year.
Yep.
I decided to have it where I had a VA doing a lot of the cold calling for me. So I'm able to do more driving for dollars with everything like that. And I kept it really, really basic for the VA, just saying, hey, are you open to selling a house? And then from there, if they say yes or no, pretty much it just goes into Podio, and then I follow up with them and ask them qualifying from there.
That's fine.
That's how I've been kind of getting around a lot of it. I had my first person curse me out to Kingdom Come the other day, but still here.
Dude, you need to get cursed out more.
Yeah. It's like a flak jacket, dude. You deal with it.
You get used to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome, man.
Well, thank you guys for all you do.
Telling you, you're in a great market. People would literally, they would do anything to be in the market you're in right now. So you got this, man.
Well, thank you guys.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Amen.
All right. Next we got Nick.
Hey guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, what's up, man?
Hey, how's it going? So I just have
Great.
a few questions. This first one is for Zach. How'd you handle college and wholesaling? Like, do you have any tips?
Oh Lord.
Yeah, it's pretty. I mean, I have an eidetic memory. So I was taking business school, which is a joke. So I just legit, I would watch the lectures in 2X, and I literally just wholesale. Like literally everything I've done was wholesaling. I honestly, I don't know how I got the grades I did. I would just watch the lecture, read the notes I have to do, and then just take the test. Pretty simple. Like I would just grind through it. And I was taking 16 to about 16 credits a semester. And I was just grinding through it. Like I would work 12 hours, spend an hour working out, and then put like a couple hours into schoolwork while I was eating or something, and then just repeat it.
Okay. Yeah, because I'm a freshman right now, taking 15 hours, also in business school. So I just kind of was wondering. And then what do you guys think about the high equity vacant list? Do you think it's too saturated, or if I'm really like putting the hours in, do you think
What
it's
market are you in?
I'm in Kansas City. It's kind of like my virtual market since I go to school at K-State, so that's like a hour and a half from Kansas City.
Is that Manhattan, Kansas?
Yeah.
Why don't you just do Manhattan, Kansas?
I mean, there's like the population's pretty small, I thought, and
What's the
I think
population?
I think it's like 50,000.
Dude, we're doing a $90,000 deal in a population of 30,000.
Really? Holy crap.
Yes.
Yeah, you just need a couple.
Right. You know the deal I'm talking about. We're doing
Yeah.
$90,000 on a deal, 50,000. You
Wow.
don't need to be in a crazy big population, dude.
Okay.
You just need to find someone with motivation. And sometimes a lot of people overlook the small markets because they don't think it's efficient. And if you know the area well, remember, like you're a freshman, like you only need like 1 or 2 deals to really catastrophically like change your life. Like
Yeah.
you need proof of concept. And the best way to do is find a deal and put a check in your pocket. Don't get me wrong. I think you're doing the right thing by like finishing school, actually getting started in school and getting done because it goes by fast. Just my shed on that is don't make the 4 best years of your life in college. It should be the next 50 years,
So
80 years after college.
Well, I'm just letting you know.
I agree with you. If it was up to, I mean, I'm just doing it to get the degree, kind of make the parents happy, but I really don't like it. Like I'd rather get
What are you getting your degrry in?
Finance.
Okay, well, I got a finance degree.
Yeah.
To be honest with you, I was a terrible college student, so I did it all wrong.
Right now, it's the last month, so
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I think
And
you're
then-
doing the right way, but just live a balance.
Have you guys ever heard of anyone doing deals in Manhattan, Kansas, or no?
No, your average ARV is 250, which is good.
Okay.
I honestly would stick to Manhattan, Ogden, Fort Riley, and Junction City for now.
Okay.
Dude, you do very good. I'm telling you, it's already proven. You're fine, man. Like
Yeah,
you do deals there.
Virtual's going to
Now, Kansas is a non-disclosure state. That is going to be your number one problem, but it's also to your advantage. So comping is going to be harder. But
So I know you guys say not to, but this was before I found you guys. I have my license and I have the MLS, so I think I should be good on that.
you're in Kansas. Honestly, if I was a non-disclosure state, I mean, I have access to MLS, so I probably would just get around that. If you're already licensed, get the MLS, dude, you're fine.
Yeah.
I would be hammering hard, man. Like I would drive for dollars around those cities. I'm saying code violations. Every thing I tell you, do it, man.
Okay.
You're
What do
good.
you think about finding buyers then in those smaller areas?
So buyers, smaller areas, I do use like PropStream and just find the cash sales. So Kansas Real Estate Investing Association Facebook groups is probably where I would start off. And then I would be looking at the local RIAs, cold calling the 4 rents. Probably cold calling the 4 rents is probably gonna be the best for you. Because I know a lot of landlords in college towns like that.
Yeah, and if you can figure out how to harvest the data out of MLS for the cash buyers agents in those markets,
That's another
agents
thing,
they're really easy to call.
Yeah,
Like,
go to
they're not
cash
threatening.
sales.
Yeah.
Find the agent, like Riley Johnson. Call him. Hey, I'm another agent. Sometimes I have properties where I'll actually wholesale them. If you come in, I can give you a commission, which he's an agent, so he actually can do it. So
That's a good tip. You talk to him agent to agent.
you'll find if you spend a weekend, you get 100 qualified cash buyers. It's a joke. It's easy, man.
Okay.
Yeah,
I checked the PropStream for Manhattan, and I think the cash buyers it showed, like, how it just shows the quick list on top. It said like 100 cash buyers. Is that
do Riley County? Do Riley County?
Yeah.
And then cold call the 4 rents.
Okay. Cool. I will be this summer though back in Kansas City. I mean, do you think it's still worth it? Do you guys?
Are you gonna be there for 4 years in Manhattan?
No, I went to school here for the first year to get my GPA up, and then I'm going to transfer to Florida. So I'm kind of on a time crunch to get a deal or two.
UF or a school in Florida?
University of Tampa.
Hopefully. Okay, UT.
If not, I'll do I think it's University of South Florida, like the Manatee campus or something.
Okay, that's a lot harder. Honestly, just do. Are you going to only be there for this semester?
I'll be in Kansas for another 4 months.
I would do. It's hard. I would drive for dollars in your free time in Manhattan. I'd spend 50-50. I honestly, if you're in Tampa, I would do virtual in Kansas City just because you have family and friends there probably.
Yeah.
I do. Okay, now with this new information, 50-50, 50% Kansas City, 50% Manhattan, like Riley County.
Okay.
And then I would probably dedicate, if you go to UT, to Kansas City. But
yeah,
UT's got a nice campus. That's nice.
Dude, you're smart because you're not waiting until you graduate to like figure out what you want to do with life.
Yeah.
Like I did. Dude, I didn't figure this stuff out till I was 33.
I'll tell you one thing though, Nick.
Yep.
I know UT will probably be 60, 70K a year.
Yeah, no,
and
it's expensive.
USF out of state's probably insane.
I'm with the USF.
I know you went to USF, but I was in state. I got a full ride, so I can't talk. But if you spent $60,000 a year just on your marketing,
oh my god,
and you lived in Kansas,
yeah, but it's his parents' money. You can't ask him to do that.
Yeah.
Is he taking a
Am I
loan?
right? Like,
is it your parents'
right,
money, or are you going to take a loan out?
They're helping me with it, so I got lucky on that front. But everything else,
do whatever you want. I'm just telling you.
So, Nick, do your parents know you're pursuing wholesaling?
Yeah, they do. They're cool with it. I mean, they wanted me. I had a car detailing business in high school for like 4 years.
There you go.
That's what they wanted me to stick with. But
what's worst thing? Worst case scenario, he makes 50K on a deal. Oh no,
yeah, 50K deal would pay for a lot of like car detailing.
50-50 is probably what I'd do.
Okay.
Yeah, you're on it. Dude.
That's good
Small
advice,
work, man.
Cool.
They do. They work well.
Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. I really appreciate it. So
okay,
appreciate it. Have a great one.
Keep going.
Have a good one, you too. All right, bye.
That's cool. Vince, what's up?
Hey, Rick, how y'all doing?
What's
I'm
up,
blessed,
Vince?
Man, how's Central Florida treating you?
Man, it's been good and bad.
Tell me, what's up?
So, I've only been doing this for about 6 months now, and I probably done had every situation in the past 6 months. So I was driving for dollars probably a couple weeks ago, and I have like these door handles that I put on houses, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I put one on there. Lady calls me a week later. She's like, "Hey, I want to sell this property. I don't want to go to a realtor, blah, blah, the whole spiel." I go on the appointment. She wants 230. I said, 230 is gonna be tough. Can we do 200? She said, "Can we do 215?" So we end up doing 215. I get on the contract, right? So I put it on the groups and everything. And long story short, I didn't get really no hits. So after a couple of days, I know if it's a deal or not. I didn't put houses on there. You know when it's a deal.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, I got people that say, "Hey, I can do 215, I can do 210." That's why I wanted to get to 200.
Yeah.
Went back to her. I was supposed to get the keys that day. They put the lockbox, put it with the property. I was like, "Miss, can you please, can we just talk about maybe coming to 200 so we get this done by the end of this month? You want this to get done? This is what we're gonna do. We don't have to worry about cleaning the house out. You don't have to worry about repairs, blah. She gets furiated. Oh, I'm not gonna. And you know how you always do. You blame it on the third party. My partners want to bring it down. This, that, and the third. She's going infuriated. If y'all can't do 215, I'm not doing a deal. This is crazy. Won't. And I told her. I texted her. I said, "Hey, give me some time. I'm gonna try to get the 215."
Mm-hmm.
Just that same day, I literally met another wholesaler who has a relationship with a hedge fund. That hedge fund comes in for, I put it on the contract for 215. They want 240 for it, right? So then I call her like, "Hey, we can do the 215." She's like, "Oh, well, I signed with a realtor." And I'm like, she said the realtor said I can get 250. The ARV is 320. And I'm like, "No, it's not." I'm like, that realtor just bring you in just to get commission, and she's gonna play games with you. Long story short, she's being like stubborn about we're still under contract. Like we did our part on the contract. Now it's time.
Is there EMD on there, Vince?
EMD's on there, the inspection, and then this is the thing I did next. I used to play basketball, so one of my coaches, he was with a law firm. he sends a letter out to their address. You know, the whole real estate letter. You know, basically you got to go through with the contract. You signed it. And then he has the clauses in there where, you know, so send that out to her. That was just on Monday. So I called her today. And so she's like, saying, basically she was saying, oh, I know you tried hard to get this done. Try to give me like the soap story. Well, you know, Open Door is going to give me 272. And I'm like, Open Door is not giving you 272. She's like, well, you know, and so basically she's like, well, I'm not going to go back and forth. I'm like, miss, you signed the contract. So she said, I'm not going to go through this, and hangs up on me. While I'm listening to y'all right now, she calls me back. I didn't pick up because I'm up to here. So she leaves me a message. Oh, well, let me look at the document I signed one more time, because she must have got the letter in the mail. She didn't say anything about it to me while I was on the phone with her. So my thing is, you know, what do I do next? Do I file a memoranda? Do I just, like, I'm trying to figure out.
So Vince, let me ask you this. You're a hedge fund buyer. Have you confirmed they're like for real? Like, have you done paperwork with them?
Like we're so serious to where the guy sent me the HOA information, the title that's going through, the title sent the paperwork for the seller to fill out. And like they said, they got like each day, they got a date for the inspection for the 26th. They want to do this by this date. They want to close by the 4th. Like,
Open Door's offering like 270. He's probably got a decent deal at 215.
Yeah.
Do you know who the realtor is?
That's what I was going to ask her. I never really got. Every time we talk, I never asked her.
Okay. So let me explain this. You should, first of all, patrol to see if she puts the property on the open market with the realtor.
I mean, Zillow, Realtor.com. Is there anything on those websites right now?
No, and that's why I don't understand how someone's going to offer you 272.
She might have not signed with a realtor. Yeah. She might be bluffing with you.
She could be bluffing, because I'm telling you, in your position, if you have a legitimate contract and a realtor was informed of that,
that's what I'm saying.
They will get their clock clean.
Even if they like, hey, you know what? I think Vince is a terrible person. He's the worst guy in the world. If I'm a realtor, I'm still not going to sign, because
I wouldn't do it unless you showed me
it's a waste of time, man.
A cancellation of contract, because the realtors are held not only by contract law, which would be tortious interference. We have realtors do it all the time.
This is like you signing a contract knowing it's already on the market and you're not wanting to deal with a realtor. You would never do that.
Right.
I think she's bluffing. If she doesn't give you the realtor, she's bluffing. Kind of like the attorney thing before.
So I can tell you what she's going to challenge you on, though, because I've been through this.
Yeah.
She's going to challenge you on your ability to close on it. And that's what you got to be rock solid confident on. Because if you don't have the ability to perform, say that hedge fund falls through, you're kind of back to square one. Because I get it, dude. I've done this. You ask for a discount because you get feedback. I get it. You did the right thing.
Right.
We run the risk. They blow up and she gets all upset. I get it. And then you come back and they go, okay, we'll move forward. And then everybody else wants to pay, $250, $270. And, here you are. So always, you just got to try to work with the seller. I know she's a pain in the butt, but she feels like you kind of baited and switched her. And you just got to try to smooth that out. Reinforce to her that you have a legitimate contract. And I would you already have it with a title company, right?
Right. It's already like everything.
Okay. So have your title company start doing some of the dirty work for you. Having her call her, go, hey, we're scheduled to close. I just, I need some more information from you. If she's got a mortgage and a payoff.
Right.
Because I can tell you, she's going to probably go, okay, dude, Vince is for real. He's got a title company. They have an expectation for me to close. It's legit. Here's the problem with the recording of the affidavit. Like this is kind of your first deal, correct?
Yeah. This is my first deal.
I don't want it to blow up on you, because there is a risk when you record an affidavit that you could be countersued for damages. Mm-hmm. And the only reason they could get you if they could prove you didn't have the ability to close on the contract. Mm-hmm. That's your only risk factor. Yes. Can you do it? It clouds title and somebody going to go through there, and you can use that as a last resort because it doesn't really cost you anything. But I always try to work with the seller. I get it. You upset, you ruffled them. I've done it thousands of times. Mm. So I would try to save face on that. And then I would work with your title company. And especially if the title company has a lawyer, go and listen, can you guys help me either compose an email, and email's fastest if she has an email, or
Right.
pick up the phone and call her and just start confirming it. And my title company goes, listen, we have a legit contract here. It takes two parties to cancel a contract, not one. That's the whole purpose of the contract.
Right.
Remember, at the end of the day, you got to get her to go to closing.
Right.
So here's a Hail Mary for you, okay? If you can verify that your title company is not your title company, your hedge fund buyer is locked and loaded, offer her a little bit more money just as a thank you, I apologize. Maybe $2,000 or $3,000 extra, or pay for her closing costs, something like that. But at the end of the day, you got to win the seller over. Yes, you can bring out the slapping stick, but once you do that, it's ugly. It's you're never. So most people don't know when you record an affidavit, the purpose is to have them move forward and close with you. But most of the time there's another buyer involved and they offer you a settlement. So are you okay in the 3 months down the road, she just gives you $2,000 or $3,000 to go away? Because that's what they're going to try to do with the affidavit. So I'm just going to let you know what the end of it is. So try to work with her. You can record the affidavit. And by the way, you can withdraw your affidavit too. But I'm just, I've been challenged on 2 affidavits. I'm very, very careful. Make sure you have an earnest money deposit and you have an escrow letter and you have a title company that's backing you up when you do it. And I prefer if you can have your title company record the affidavit for you so you don't screw up the title for yourself. But try to work with her. So you got to work with the seller. You got to work with the title company. And you got to work with your buyer and just try to save the deal. Welcome to wholesaling. This is normal. It's one of the risks when we renegotiate. It is what it is.
Yeah. In the back of my mind,
I think you got a really good deal. I just remember we cannot make our sellers that you can get them to sign a contract, but then you got to dance with them to get them to kind of the prom. And if she's not going to dance, we're going to have to put on some tap shoes.
But the thing is that she sent me, like I said, if all this was true, what she was telling me, why would you call me back saying, hey, let me look over the documents that I signed?
I know. But listen, so Vince, are you married? You got a girlfriend? Whatever.
No, I'm not married.
Congratulations, you're ahead of the game. So you have to kind of get it's like if you get in a fight with someone, especially like family. You ever get in a fight with family? It's
right.
I hate you. You just gotta have to find a way to make up with her. If you can make up with her, the whole deal's saved. So I would try that one first.
Okay.
Then I would do the title company, and then I'd be chasing your end buyer down to really lock them down.
Okay. I mean, the truth is, dude, sellers decide to get out of someone due to a lack of trust or money. This is mostly money, but sometimes a little lack of trust. I would call the title company tomorrow morning. I'd probably call the seller back and just explain it.
Especially if she just called you.
Yeah. I would probably call the title company and say, hey, I have a seller who's trying to go to other offers. Have you established a connection with them? Have the title person call them. They say, hey, we're ready to buy the property. You know, Vince is ready to go, all this stuff. It makes them seem like, oh, shoot, this is legit. Title's being ran, all this stuff. We make our title company call the day we get the thing locked up. Yeah. And they have to call twice a week.
Okay.
Because they're like, oh, shoot, this is legit. Yeah. She's trying to test you, man, to see if you're legit or not. And that's how the company calls them.
Go ahead.
And have them call. One other thing I do, Vince, how much of an EMD did you leave?
$250.
$250? So I'm probably not going to scream I left $250. You know, no, hey, dude, you have plenty though. That is plenty to show that
$1.
You only need $1. But what I want you to do is get a letter from the title company, basically showing that you have the earnest money in.
It's called an escrow letter.
An escrow letter. So don't scream how much escrow money, but make sure they write an escrow letter and then send that to her. Basically, hey, Vince whatever of whatever home buyers has his escrow in place. Everything's locked in. Oh shoot, this is real, right?
Okay.
That's what I would do.
I think you have a high probability. Let me ask you, Vince, was she okay until you did the price change with everything?
She loved me. I built rapport.
Okay, so you already know. So I
was sitting in the living room.
I know. Well, then just
on the second visit.
Okay. Go repair it. It is always a risk when you go back and renegotiate that they can blow up the contract. So understanding that, just go in and just try to work with and repair it. And you know how to pull the guns out. We've already given you a sequence of events. and you know what to do in the worst case scenario. I think
Boom.
she'll work with you.
That's it.
She just got to reestablish the trust.
So basically, just call her back tonight. Let her know, we got
As
everything.
soon as you get off this call, don't let time is
call
your
right
enemy.
now, man. Go.
Time is your enemy because
Vince, you got this. Call it. You're good.
And like you said, just call her. Basically, just what's the word I'm looking for?
Title's being ran. Escrow's in. I'm ready to go.
I'm going to follow through my agreement. I apologize. I asked for a price change. I'll go ahead and move forward with the contract as we agreed upon. I apologize for any inconvenience. Just man up, do it, and just let her know.
How much is it locked up for right now?
$215.
$215. That's what so you weren't trying to reduce it to $215. It's already locked up for $215. Dude, keep it. You're fine.
Yeah. Get her back on board. You got it. Like, this is the norm, by the way. This like I could tell you it happens to us all the time.
That's why I wanted to make sure it was the norm, because I'm like, man, this is like, I've been getting like every type of situation.
Vince, let's do this. Are you ready? Call her right now and kind of discuss it. Hey, I'm ready to close, whatever. I'm sorry for it. If you have any more questions, let's just meet at the house and talk it over. And I'll kind of show you everything. And then before you meet at the house, you're getting that escrow letter, you're getting everything. And then guess what you're going to do before you go meet them? Title company is going to call. You're going to have escrow letter in hand. Like, you're going to have everything you need. And just, if she wants to just talk to you in person, that wasn't the right thing, Vince. Let her say whatever. Talk her in the eye and just show your caring. Say, I'm sorry, we'll go through with this price.
Yeah, because remember, it's easy to reject people over the phone.
Right.
It's almost impossible.
Yeah,
to
so
do
if
it
you
in
look someone in
person.
the eye with care, you're good, man. So, dude, it's getting late. Call.
All right, man.
Call her until you got a solution to the problem and meet her in person, and I almost guarantee you'll save the deal.
All right.
On the phone, it's a little bit more work, but
You got this, man.
You got it. It's the norm.
Appreciate it, guys.
All right.
Okay, let us
Keep
know
it
how
up.
it works out.
Y'all take it easy, man.
Perfect. All right. Hector.
Hello.
How's it going?
Pretty good, man. You caught me
What's
at
up?
the perfect time too.
Perfect. What
Okay.
questions you got? How can we help you out?
Yeah. So I guess where do I start? So I had an appointment yesterday, right? And locked up a contract. This is my first contract that I've ever locked up.
Congrats.
And
Nice,
it's two lots. Two lots in if you guys know where Course Gold is at in California. Anyway, so I lock him up. The guy's telling me that he has permits pulled on them, and he was going through the process of getting everything to build in 2020, but then life happened, sure, right? And I lock him up, and I was so excited to be locking up two contracts that we filled out the contracts incorrectly, right? So I go home, right? I go home, realize they're incorrect. I call him, let him know what's happening. He's like, hey, come back. We'll do two new ones. No biggie.
Okay.
I go back, and he's had a couple beers in him. He had a couple beers while I was sitting there chatting with him, right? So he's feeling loosey-goosey, and he starts probably letting out more info than he should have. And he told me he never actually filed the permits, but he paid, I don't even know. He said he paid something, and he has a check stubs. So at this point, red flags are going off. I am renegotiating the price at this point. It doesn't work out. I told him, hey man, I'm not wasting any more of your time. I'm not gonna waste any more of my time. Have a great night. I leave. Always be leaving. You know what? I'm out. He calls me about 45 minutes later. I'm already home. And he wants to work something out. Hey, let's work something out. Come by tomorrow, I get in contact with the county this morning. There's nothing pulled on them. Absolutely nothing pulled on them.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, I mean, it just changes the terms.
Just change the price. That's it.
Right. So now I got to renegotiate a lower price. I guess my question is there something in the purchase and sale agreement that I should put to protect myself?
Not really. I mean, you're purchasing a property without the permits, which is not good. But I mean, it's going to be your cash buyer's issue, not really yours. Better
right,
price.
100%.
Just get a better price, man. Like, I don't care. Like, I go to a house. Let's say there's no kitchen in the house. I don't care. Like, I get a better price. That's it.
So what's the value of a permit on that property?
So I got the lady actually emailed an estimate. You know, this is completely estimates, but she said it's gonna be 15,000 for pulling everything out, I guess.
All right, we'll get 20K
Yeah.
on top of that. That's it.
Just keep
20
working onto it and explain it to them. Like, listen, there's a cost. You told me you did it. I wrote a contract based on it, and just back the math out. That's all you got to do.
Hey, I got to reduce it by $20,000. That's how much it's going to cost me. I got lawyers, all this stuff. It's probably going to cost 20.
And honestly, when you write the contract, if what hooked you in on the price was the permit, you have to write in the addendum. This is sale price is based. Contract is based upon the verification of permit on file. So
Well, you
if
can't do that now.
No, you
'cause there's
can't
no
do it
permit
now.
on. Yeah.
I'm just saying you do that up front.
Right.
So if they're lying to you, you can easily get out of the contract or renegotiate it. So some people think lying to you, they can shove it through. It's got to go through title.
That's it.
Right. Okay, so yeah, I'm actually meeting with them in 2 hours. So I'm gonna set a pretty low offer. And honestly, at this point, I don't want to walk away from it, right? Because there's money to be made here.
Yeah.
But at the same time, his shadiness and has kind of raised a lot of red flags, and I have a
Every
feeling.
seller's going to lie to you, man. Like, I mean, just get over it
A
now.
lot of
They're all going to lie to you, man.
The money doesn't lie, so you got to find a way to get to it. So just understand, like, people often don't tell you the truth. So like, just kind of get over it, but understanding. So like, here's the other thing is, make a note when he was drinking last time and try to avoid showing up that time, because you don't want to go negotiate with someone who's in an inebriated state. It's just not good for everybody. And
Right.
you go, well, he's loose lips, like pulled this out. No. Title will pull that out for you, and you got to do some verification. But guys, you do not want to deal with someone who's in an altered state, because that would actually draw flags to your contract and actually void it out. So if he's drinking at like 5 o'clock, like try to meet him in the morning. Like, so if you're going back, you say you're going over today?
Yeah, here in 6 p.m. Pacific. So
right in the middle of happy hour. So just make sure
right in the middle.
you're not walking it, because like you can put yourself in a dangerous position, man. Like, listen, at the end of the day, we want people to make good decisions, and we have tons of seller's regret. Don't throw any types of substance on top of it, because it's 10 times worse. So just make a note of it and just keep that in mind. So, and I don't know how tipsy he was, if he was talking that much too. I'm sure he had more than one beer. So just keep it in mind.
he had about 3 when I was with him.
I know. So just they've got to be of sound mind when they sign a contract. That's part of the contract. And if now that you have information, he knows he does it, just you got to kind of make your best decision. I could tell you horror stories about like this stuff. Like so if we knew we had a heavy drinker at 5, we'd go meet him at 10. You don't want that to be a cop out on a contract. And quite frankly, you want them to remember the deal. You don't want to be like, oh my God, I must have been drunk when I signed that. And they will use that. So just, you got it. No big deal. Sometimes people don't tell you the truth. This is the norm. Just like Vince before, he tried to get a discount on the deal. It blew up on him. Then he's trying to re-solidify it. Once you rock it, but remember, this is to your advantage. Just make sure he's of sound mind.
Right, because he reached out to me at the end of the day yesterday. He reached back out to me. I was ready to walk away from it. So that must mean he has to be motivated.
Yeah, so you got to be walking away from him, like when he negotiates with this. Go, listen, I don't even know if I want to do this deal anymore. Like up front, tell him when you meet with him, go like, I'm a little disturbed by like what happened, but I did the research. The permit is going to cost me about 15 to 20 grand. And unless you're interested in even taking that off the top, there's no reason for us to discuss this further, and just see what he says. So,
fair enough. All right.
Okay, bud. Good luck with everything.
Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome.
Okay. See you.
Awesome. All right. We got Tristan. What is up?
Tristan. She probably went to get a snack. That's what I would do.
I know.
I'm hungry.
Elijah, what's up?
Hey, what's up, guys?
How's your week been?
It's been all right. I've been been doing driving for dollars. I think I got like 130 right now. Called about 50 of them. Haven't really like gotten any yeses or any maybes or anything like that. So I've just been driving. Also, I just want to thank people that get on here and talk about their situation because that helps me in the future. So I want to thank those people as well as you guys.
Of course. Thank you, Elijah. I appreciate it.
Of course. But also it's a little worrying when I'm driving around like these neighborhoods and I see like 3 to 4 rehabs already going on. So it's a little disheartening seeing that.
Why?
Because I just feel like I missed the boat.
That person could have bought it on market and flipped it for top dollar.
Okay, you're right.
Could be a hedge fund.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, a third of all.
On your target list or your marketing plan, and you gotta. The one thing I tell you is like stop looking for verification from others around you because you're not gonna get it. You're never gonna get it. It never worked. I tried it for 20 years.
Mm-hmm.
You're never gonna get it. You've got to commit to your plan and just do it. And say, oh my God, they're rehabbing 3 houses here. I got to abort. It doesn't work that way. You've got to make the decision yourself. And that's it. If you constantly compare to other rehabbers, other wholesalers, you have no idea. That could be just a family just looking to modify a home. That's it.
Exactly.
Yeah. I'm not saying I'm going to give up or nothing. I'm not going to give up. But it's just like, dang, that could have been one that I had. But
you keep hammering, man. That's all.
You got to stay committed and strong. That's how people get houses like that.
Keep doing the challenge. Keep it up, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys. I just wanted to come on and let you know I'm still going.
Okay.
Awesome, man. Appreciate it.
Man.
No problem.
Same.
All right. Tristan's back here. What's up, Tristan?
I'm doing good. How about you?
What's up? Thanks for being patient. Appreciate it.
Oh, no worries at all. I was listening to it towards the end of the workday. Just walked in. I'm like, oh gosh, just had to put my shirt back on. But no, I had a quick general question because I'm over in the Fort Worth, Texas market. I know I kind of hear different things about the different metroplexes kind of being more saturated markets, but really this where to take approach. Just starting off, when it comes to like driving for dollars, it's got PropStream not too long ago, but just any information on, being able to do it here. First, I had a partner out in Nashville, Tennessee, where I'm actually looking in because I have boots on the ground there. But hearing more about in-person wholesaling versus virtual is something I do want to dive into, and just wanted to kind of get your opinion about Fort Worth in particular.
It's a good market, man. A lot of drawing for dollars. That's where a lot of the deals are coming from. But it's a good market, man. It's a little saturated, but not bad.
Yeah, makes sense because that's what I'm thinking is for drawing for dollars probably going to be the biggest.
There's so many people there, man. That's the only one that's going to work.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Have you guys noticed with the contracts? Have they been able to be used in Texas that you have like on the site?
Yeah, people have used our contracts. They've used the TREC ones. They've used them all.
Okay, good. Well, that's all I had as far as questions right now. I appreciate it for sure.
It's easy.
No worries. Appreciate it, man.
Thanks,
See you, man.
All right, we're going to get to the last couple ones real quick. Ben, what is up?
Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Hey,
What's
man.
up?
So this is actually kind of funny. I'm writing this up right now. I'm actually texting with a seller. They don't really want to get on the phone, but I think it's a really good deal. ARV I determined to be between, I'd say 165 to 180, and she's asking 25 for it. And it's actually, I was on I was talking with you guys like a couple
last
weeks
week
ago. Yeah. And this deal is actually in Iowa, Des Moines, Iowa. And my cousins live in Iowa, and I had them drive by the house and whatnot. And it honestly doesn't look in that terrible of condition. But anyways, so I'm using your guys' contract, and I sent it to her, and she was bugging about it not having like an as-is clause. She wants to, like, I guess, make sure that I'm buying the property in as-is condition. So
add an extra line.
Just write
that's what I'm adding right now. I'm adding buyer agrees to buy property in as-is condition, no
Just put
repairs or upgrades.
Quote as is, and you'll be fine.
Okay, Gotcha.
Yeah.
It's not a legal definition, but I mean, most lawyers will see it. So
It doesn't change anything.
buyer agrees to buy property from seller in as is condition, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Okay. And also, there's like a lien on the property. Not a lien. I mean, it's like $6,000, I think. But
Fine, man. Like a mortgage.
So
Take it off.
yeah, she said that like, so 25 grand is the like what she wants not to take home, just like with the lien included, right? So I put the total price at 25,000, and is there anything I need to add about like the lien, because she's like telling me to pay it off, and I'm like, well, it'll
She's
get
paying
paid
it.
off at close. Yeah.
She's paying it. It's her lien.
Doesn't it get paid off? Does it get paid off at close? Like the proceeds from the close go to paying off the lien?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
That's what she's not understanding. I'm trying to explain it to her. It's like, it doesn't matter if I pay it or you pay it. It's the exact same thing. Like
So
25 grand.
Yeah. Get it under contract and then let your title company pull the title, and then they'll reach out to her and kind of like go over the lien and everything like that. So
Boom. That's it.
it's easy.
Perfect.
That's a good deal, man.
All right.
She just texted me. Oh,
Okay.
this is another thing real quick. There's an abstract. She has the abstract. Like, what does the abstract mean? Is that like, do you know what I'm saying? Or do you not know what I'm talking about?
So that has to refer with title. I'm not going to sit here and give you like, I know everything.
Mhm.
Get with your title company on it. A lot of people call it like abstract title. It has to do with the titling. How long she owned the property for?
Like 23 years.
So she's probably talking in regards to the original title policy. Let your title company do all that work. Remember, you find a motivated seller, you get it under contract, and you let other people do what they're supposed to do. I've had title companies tell me, oh, that's great. Or like, there's $100,000 of lien on it. That's terrible. That's not my job. I just sort through it. I give them the intel, say, listen, it sounds like there's one lien on it. And if you could just get back to me right before you call her and tell me what it is.
That's it. Oh,
Okay, perfect.
You got it.
All
Keep
right,
moving
perfect.
forward.
Yep, thank you.
All right. Last one's gonna be Braxton. Remember, guys, if you want to hop on, talk to me on the days before we do ours together. That's why we have 2 days for it. But Braxton, what is up?
Hey, Zach. Thanks for speaking to me again. This is Braxton. How you doing?
What's up, man?
I was actually in the process of cold calling. That's funny.
Awesome.
While I was listening to you guys, but I do want to be real quick with you guys. Everything like that. It's been a crazy day, but again, I do love cold calling. Just picked up a new buyer, so that's great.
Did you hear that? He loves cold calling.
I know.
You don't hear that often.
I hear that.
Only because
I love that.
I've got to the point where like I've done it for a while. I actually do it for I told you guys I have a 9 to 5 where I'm a loan officer, so I'm basically cold calling for my 9 to 5 as well. So off the 9 to 5, get back into cold calling for myself from 5 to 8 and on my lunch breaks. But just picked up a new buyer, so that's great.
Awesome.
And got 2 contracts signed today for some properties in Baltimore. The ARV on those are, one of them is 110, got it for 25,000. So that should be a great. Does need some work, but
awesome.
Luckily, the person who I found is a cash buyer says he works on the properties himself. So those guys are always nice because they kind of can cut down on their personal rehab costs instead of going out and kind of getting it done, with the third party contractor.
Love selling it to those people because they
I'm so happy I kind of got in contact with this guy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
But my question was, I know I listen to YouTube videos often and everything like that, and I noticed Mr. Rick had said, he did a lot of courses and things kind of early on his career. I was wondering, are there things that you learned earlier that has still helped you to this day?
The biggest lesson, if I had to give you in one statement, is to be extremely consistent. Consistency will crush any talent, any closing ability. I see people like they think they're superstars in this business and they do like 5 or 10 deals and then they stop doing what made them successful. And I'm telling you, a guy been doing this 20 years consistently. Like I did marketing this morning, like I got it on my schedule. It's all set. The more you can get your life dull and boring about wholesaling, the better you'll do. The minute you keep throwing in these monkey wrenches for this latest, greatest technique, and you go to like 3 million conferences and you let somebody on stage tell you what they're doing, unless you can verify it, don't do it. Like everybody knows me and Zach actually do deals all the time. Like our profit level is like through the roof, and I can prove up to anybody. Okay. But remember, I don't even sell a course, and I'm telling you, like, we post our deals, we show you what I do. The biggest thing that got me off rail is I started going to every conference, every seminar, and I tried a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And like, in the end of the day, I went back to what always worked, and it was just being consistent. So everybody tries to make this business so much sexier than it is. It's just, and by the way, these people who tell you to scale your businesses massively, it's hard. It's
Yeah, I listen
at
to
the
you
end of the
guys.
day, how much money do you make and how much time do you have? If you got 4 or 5 partners and you're talking about hitting these like 10, $20 million sales goals, like it doesn't matter how much you earn, it's how much you take home at the end of the day. So I always say, listen, what's your why? Do you have a clear defined why you're doing wholesaling, Braxton?
Unfortunately, not really. I will
Get
be
it.
honest. Like I want to do it, of course, for financial freedom, but I want to get more specific with that goal, having a SMART goal kind of behind it.
Okay. So the sooner you can like clear it out, and it doesn't have to be exact, especially if you like, how old are you, Braxton?
I'm 23.
So you're young. So it's like, I'm not telling you, oh, it's so I can have the perfect family life. Like, you want to have freedom to do whatever you want every day. So do you set an alarm clock in the morning?
Yes, sir. 7:00 a.m.
Okay. So why don't you do wholesaling so you have the right not to set that alarm clock? That was a big one for me, man.
Yeah.
Like wake up because you want to do amazing things in life, not because you have to go and work for somebody else. So you're young. I didn't figure out this till I was 33. So my short answer for you is determine your why and stay consistent to the things that got you where you are.
Okay. Yeah,
And
definitely.
don't buy into this mega scaling wholesaling. I'm just telling you.
Yeah, that's nothing I
It gets
even want to.
diluted and your risk goes through the roof when you start doing it. So
Yeah, that's nothing I
you're talking
necessarily
about
want
deals
to
are making
take care
profit.
of.
So do you have any partners in your business?
No, sir. Solo operating right now. I
Yeah,
just
you
have my some other guys that
exactly. You
wholesale
only
my
bring a
area.
partner in if they can triple your business. That's it.
Right. Yeah, I only
And
have
do it
some other
consistently.
wholesalers in my area that he has a small team, like 2 cold callers,
Yeah.
and he's been, putting out 250,000, 300,000 a year,
Yeah.
kind of Baltimore, and I partner with him all the time.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's really the only person I lean on.
Yeah. Stick to your why or clearly define it and just stay consistent and
Oh.
boring, and you'll make a ton of money and you'll do whatever you want in wholesaling.
Okay. Yeah, and another question I have for you guys, I kind of had a couple written down, but I don't want to take too much of your time, is here in Baltimore, I wonder if you guys ever purchase properties or get properties under contract, but probably not, but have experience putting them on the auction before.
Don't auction off your properties, no. Especially
Okay.
for wholesaling or auction properties, they're never good.
You're going to create a lot of
Yeah,
problems.
trust me. I can go around this for an hour. They're not worth it. That's what I could say in a very quick sentence.
Everybody else makes money. You're at risk at the end.
It sounds sexy. No, trust me, man. Just don't do it. Trust me. We've all had the, oh my gosh, no one's ever thought about this.
And
Yeah,
you're getting some legalities with it too,
Yeah,
unless you actually own the property.
I would get out of it, man. Unless you legit have the money and you're actually buying properties, I would get out of it.
Yeah, I've heard a couple people in my area try to like pretty much wholesale the contract to the auction and get a buyer, of course, through that way. But yeah,
not worth it.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you're going to take at the end, your best strategy would be find a way to close on it and then wholesale it, which is basically taking it to market for highest bid.
Yeah, for wholesaling, no.
That's it.
Okay. Well, yeah, definitely don't want to take too much of you guys' time. I appreciate you. And I'm ready to hopefully, finish out the rest of this month strong. It's looking good so far.
You got it, man. Keep it up.
Awesome job, Braxton.
Appreciate it, guys.
Boom.
See ya.
All right. Michael, what's up, man? Michael, I see you.
Yeah. Hey guys, sorry about that. I was a little
patient.
distracted there.
He's a patient. Sorry about that.
Yes, I'm back again. Yeah.
All right, what's up?
Hello. Can you
Yeah,
guys
we're
hear
here.
me?
Yeah, we hear you fine.
Hello.
You're good, man.
We hear you.
Hello.
We hear you.
Unplug it and just talk to us. Unplug it and get the audio. Something's up. He was working last time. FYI, guys, while Michael's working on it, so we have no lives tomorrow. That's why we're going a little longer today. Tomorrow is actually, I'm dropping a banger of a video. I'm literally doing my step-by-step virtual wholesaling breakdown. How to do 5 deals a month.
I had myself muted. Can y'all
All
hear
right,
me?
what's up, man? How can we help you out?
Hello.
We
Hey,
hear
man,
you.
can you hear us? All right, Michael, just DM me your question, man.
Hello.
All right. So, Michael, just DM me the question you got. We'll check it out. Guys, tomorrow, how to do 5 deals. This is my virtual wholesaling scaling system. What was it? $2,000 course given out, all edited, nice, and it's all pretty, color graded, all that fun stuff. So, guys, check it out tomorrow at 5 p.m. We'll be dropping it. No lives, and then live on Friday. It's gonna
I'll be here.
It'll be a doozy. So appreciate it, guys. Smash that like button and subscribe, and we'll see you guys soon. Have a